Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here, we're live, and it's a Sunday night. We're here for a bit of Sorare Rivals prime time. I don't know, I said this in the game week deadline show with Harry, but I'm not too sure the games are the best games we've had this weekend. And really, coming into Sunday night, guys, it's been an absolute feast of football. Goals have been everywhere. It's been absolute chaos and pandemonium. We're here for the Rivals prime time deadline. It's not a deadline show, I suppose, but I am Quinny, and I'm joined as always by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, good to see you, my man.
Doing well, mate. Yeah, thank you for having me. And yeah, we've got a special guest today.
And we've got a special guest, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, that is PSU fans too, Sean Dusham. Sean, good to see you, mate.
Yeah, I finally was able to join. Quinny's been asking me to come on, but he like asked me at like 1 a.m. my time. He's like, hey, I'm going live in like 10 minutes. You want to go on? I'm like, oh, didn't even see it till the next morning. So it's good to actually make a time that worked here for a little bit. Gotta head out in about a half hour or so. So I'm here for a bit.
Yeah, should be good fun. And like we were just chatting about it before we kind of came on, but me and Harry, when we were doing the deadline show, we were getting set up with some rival strategy. I know you guys have been chatting about it a lot over at your place over the last week. And yeah, there's been lots of stuff going on. Rivals this weekend because of the matches I think we've had this weekend. It's just been, there's been decisives everywhere. There's been lots of successful possible combinations. But the main thing we're kind of chewing over as we get ready for the Juventus game to start is you know, the whole going all common or sticking with pro cards. And Sean, you said you actually avoided the Barca game because you had cards in it.
Yeah, so I said the issue for me right now is that like I'm trying to be selective. So I know you guys are obviously on different ends of the spectrum with your views, but the Barca game, I had 2 rares and limited. So I chose not to play because I don't think that's good enough to play. Which it could have been totally terrible. So it's just one of those things where like, I'm trying to be selective. I can play the games where I'm all commons because obviously I'm on an even playing field with everyone. And then otherwise, like I'm trying to look at the matches I'm playing. But I mean, even today, like Real Madrid, I played against Pranksy and was like at a massive disadvantage, but still was able to find out a win.
And that's just it, isn't it? Because it's all about the best 5. That's the main trick of the game, I think, is nailing that best 5 and getting the tactics. The tactics are so OP. Like, it's kind of decent when you match up with someone who's got the same tactics because then it's kind of that common versus common perspective where it's nullified. It doesn't really make that much of a difference if you get that kind of head-to-head matchup on it. But I think, like I was just kind of, you know, we were just kind of about it before we came on. But I think as soon as you add a card into it, and because there is a separation in it at the moment, the likelihood of you facing the best 5 scoring cards is greatly diminished because people are always going to have that wee bias towards their cards. And I've got a limited Koundé, so I'll play him over somebody else, and then their guy is probably the better play. But rather than picking the common, people pick the limited because they think, oh, if I'm going to be playing pro, I better use everything I possibly can to try and make it as kind of even as possible. Apologies if you can hear any of the noise in the background here. I'm in Scotland now, and there's a mad windstorm. So the shutters here are all shaking and everything. So if you can hear any of that, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I think you get more of an advantage using your cards, especially if you're picking the best 5 and one of your cards hits because of the extra bonuses that comes with it.
Yeah, the issue just comes is like, I mean, I definitely agree. Like I've chose to not play games because I do not have the best card in the rare form. And if I don't, or not in rare form, but like in a actual pro card form. That said, I've actually been buying limiteds if I need to fill out lineups. So I've bought quite a few limiteds over the last like week or so in order to make sure that I was able to fill out 5. But like my sort of idea is like if I cannot run better than a straight limited lineup or the equivalent of one, which would be like 4 rares, I'm not going to play the slate because I don't think that I'm going to be ahead of enough people if I'm doing it that way. So like I want to have at least like 120 percentage points of XP before I play with pro cards. And like that's the thing is like if I don't have the best cards, or like if I don't have the best card in pro form and I don't really think that it's like attainable to go buy them, I'm just not going to play the slate. So like I looked at the Barca slate. It was going to cost me like $100 to buy Lewandowski, or not Lewandowski. It cost me like $100 to buy like Gundogan and Pena, and I was just like, I don't want to spend $100 on that, so I just skipped that slate. So it's frustrating for having pro cards. Like I still have. Let me see how many tickets I have. I think I have. How many tickets do you guys have right now?
Around the 15 mark.
Okay.
Yeah, I just spent 2, so I will have 11 right now.
Yeah, so I'm on like 8. but I'm just sort of like I end up staying around like the 8 to 10 mark, and then I play more on the weekend. So like I think I played 5 yesterday, and I played 3 today. I would have played 4 today because I would have played the Antwerp game, but it was on at like 6 o'clock my time, and I wasn't up yet, or 7 o'clock my time. But I would have played that one. There.
I've been slacking this weekend. Like I had a game today, game yesterday, so I literally have played. Well, I'm going to play these 2 games now. So 2 out of the 3, the Quinny. Did you mention the 3 games, Quinny, on stream? I can't remember if you said. Yeah, you did.
I've not. I did. I
Okay,
don't think I mentioned all 3. I mentioned that we'll be
Yeah.
starting with Juve, and I'll just put
Got
that
you.
line up on screen in case anyone's after it, and we'll maybe chat about maybe some of the rivals opportunities that might be here or not here. But it's going to be Juve away to Lecce. We've got Girona at home to Sevilla. It's probably the game that will probably the best to watch, and there's also South Africa versus Namibia. So we're getting a wee bit of AFCON action. And this is an absolute, shooting fish. This is like shooting in the dark kind of thing. If you look at both teams, like none of them play anywhere. Like basically, there's one guy, I'll say this before I'll kind of hand it back to you there, Harry, but there's one guy in the South Africa team. If I got the lineup here, I don't know what he's displayed as on Sorare data, but see on, let me go and get it. Yeah, he is fantastic. His name is Sitholm.
Wow, it's impressive.
It's just one letter away. It's just one letter away. And he plays for Tondela, who are in Portugal.
Okay.
So I picked him and made him captain. So Captain Sithole tonight is going to be the meme. Is hashtag Sithole, and
here's
goes along with that.
Here's a funny one for you, because this has happened in other ones. So that game, the South Africa game, if you have a Percy Tau card, like hypothetically, because he's the only person that is minted in that game. So if you have a Percy Tau card, let me see, like there is a one super rare Percy Tau. If you have that super rare, you can play this slate, and no matter what, you have the best, most powerful lineup anyone can have, because nobody can have a stronger one because nobody else has pro cards. So if you just make your lineup, and then also like you can only play other people that have a Percy Tau rare card. So like guaranteed you will have a 5% advantage in that game, regardless what your lineup is.
That's clever.
If you have one. I mean, there's very few. There's only 19 Percy Tau cards out there. But I'm curious. I wish I had a Percy Tau rare card, because the only people you can play are someone with a Percy Tau.
Yeah, I don't know. How could they do that?
I don't know what happens if nobody has a Percy Tau lineup, because there's only 19.
Right. So so if all 19 are played, what happens to the 20th? Well, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If there's an odd number, like let's say 4 or 5 Percy Taus are played, like what happens to the one with 5? Like, is there just no contest? You just not play?
Yeah. That's an interesting one, actually, because right now we're not seeing any pro cards versus all common, are we? So I'd be interested in how the arena sort of matchup system like deals with that.
Yeah. And on to what Blue Tomatoes just said, he's only played matchups where he has no pro cards since our show last Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's been successful. We actually have had someone else message that said that they started only playing matchups where they only have common cards, and they've won 7 in a row because of that.
Wow.
Something like that. But it's a different thing. Like if you have like Quinny, if like Celtics playing, like Quinny's going to have a lot of cards, and therefore he's going to have an advantage because of the cards he has. So like that matchup, I think like in my view right now, the current strategy is if you have no cards and you can just play the best lineup, you're at worst 50% effectively if the other person runs the best lineup too. But also, like if you have a lot of cards and can have a really powerful lineup with all the best cards, that's probably the best way to play. The way I wouldn't play right now is if you have like 1 or 2 pro cards in a matchup and like you're just playing, because like you could get matched up against someone that you're competitive against, but like you could just get matched up against someone you literally lose against before the game even starts, which isn't fun.
You're just going into the unknown, I think, with when you go into the pro side of things, which it's fun. Like in this Girona Sevilla game, I actually have 3 cards and they're all different scarcities. It just looks fun. Like I want to play them. It might not be the most optimal thing, but like it just looks fun. So it's like sometimes that goes into Quinny's thing of like, I'm killing myself in a weird way because I'm not being as optimal as I should be, because a common somebody could be better than my limited Suso, away to Girona, not good. You know what I'm saying? So like, you can fall into that trap of what Quinny goes for is the sense of people will make suboptimal decisions, and And then in the Lecce game, I've gone full common. I don't have any, but I do have a Lecce card. But he's on the bench, which it's full common for me there. So it'd just be interesting to see how that pans out. But Friday I went 3 for 3. I won my little reward box and I got a card, which was fun. I won a Alexis Desart, Julian's long lost brother in Molenbeek, which I gave away. But yeah, it was just fun to see a card pop out of there. So I'm on my I'm 1 of 5. So yeah, I need 4 wins basically on the trot. So is there 4 games worth tonight if I do the South Africa, Girona, Lecce? Is there another one I could do?
Well, there's Mexico tonight.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. So it could all hinge on Mexico.
Yeah.
To go 5 for 5. So that should be fun.
I think in any situation, but there's just no getting away from the fact that if you get the best 5 scorers, like, you're going to be very hard to beat. And as I say, as soon as you put yourself into that environment you're less likely to come across the best scoring 5 as often as you would in a common v common situation. I think it just opens your chances up more. But the hard part is being disciplined to stay within it. Like, I just have to click through my history, and like a lot of the times I'm winning, I've got 1 card and the other person's got 2 or something like that, and it's just because I've just stuck with like trying to aim for the top scoring defender, the top scoring mid, the top scoring forward, and then who's the best guy I can afford outside of that, because, like, again, the tactics are mad difference makers in this as well, so it's like I was looking at the Getafe one that kind of screwed my run up. I had 2 supers. The guy that I was playing against had a rare and a super, and he beat me by 6 points, but he absolutely cleaned up on the tactics. And the outfield was, it was a crap game if any caught it. But it was, it was what it was. But no, it wasn't a crap game. It was 3-2, but like, it wasn't good for me. My goalkeeper conceded 3, so I wasn't enjoying watching it. Like, it was kind of
for Sorare.
Yeah,
there's a little UI glitch for the South Africa game. So if you go to the goalkeeper, they've got both starting goalkeepers in the Namibia section.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ron Wen is actually the South African keeper. Is what I'm.
The cheaper one.
The cheaper one. Yeah. 100%.
We've got Juve Lecce about to come out, so I don't know if anyone has any real taking thoughts. I'll tell you, before the teams come out and before the kickoff goes and everything, Lecce are not a bad team to maybe play like when I played Getafe versus Osasuna, and the guy that beat me had a full Osasuna team and I had a full Getafe team. So sometimes, maybe in these situations, depending on how the game shakes out, some of the higher scorers might be in the lesser team and less often picked. Remy Odine's in this team. Anyone else that maybe jumps out? The goalkeeper I quite like as well.
Ramadani from Aberdeen, isn't it? He used to play for.
Oh yeah, right enough.
Yeah, he's in Scotland, wasn't he? My boy Stravetz is not starting, so that's not ideal. But I didn't play him, luckily, in this weekend, knowing that there was a bit of a risk. So yeah, no, Lecce are sneaky. I think Juve might not struggle, but I do think it'll be like a little 1-0 Juve. Vlahovic, no AA. Little decisive.
Just the Vlahovic special.
Yeah. He stands out quite a lot in this. L15 of 47, and it's actually L5 of 64, and it's doing pretty good. Needs to get 2 decisives, but to really hit big. But at 47, he's going to be hard to overlook in the forward category. And with the Barca game there, everyone had Lewandowski in their team because he's cheap and he was like the only like good forward that started. So there is a little bit of that.
To be fair,
you just kind of knock yourself out against the position,
I looked at Lewan and I was like, I'm going to go Ferran here. I just had a weird feeling that Ferran was going to pop tonight compared to Lewan. They were similar prices. And I was just thinking in my head, like, I think a lot of people are going to just play Lewan because it's Lewan. And then the guy I got matched up against, obviously, had Lewan. So it was like, I kind of had a weird feeling that it was just going to go well for me, that matchup, just because, Lewan's off it right now. And yeah, Ferran's being very, very decisive. So...
That's interesting because my Ferran's a mid.
Yeah, so you had the mid version. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah. So
I
have no potential.
I just sent both of you guys a challenge on the Girona match.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Okay. I'm not going to reveal my team yet until the game goes. That's part of the...
Yeah. Well, here, I'll turn away. I'll turn away so you can accept it.
No, that's all right. That's all right. No, that's all right. I'm wait for the Juve game, and then I'll show you my Juve team. The Girona team looks really good, but tonight it should be a high-scoring one. I think Girona will be raging that Real Madrid didn't drop points earlier on today. Did you hear the comments from the Almeria player after the game?
I didn't, but that game was kind of a shit show. It was like there was so many like random fouls that were called or not called that were like led to goals it was just a weird game. Like Bellingham got hit in the face like 6 times.
Yeah, it was mad. But the player from the other side came out and he said it was as if someone decided that, you know, we couldn't get any points at the Bernabeu today or whatever, and that was just the end of it because they got goals disallowed and, you know, the rest of it that went on in that game. JJ17 Sports is saying he played Lewat and subbed him off for Felix. I was really close to doing this, and I think, like someone mentioned being selective earlier on, I think the most important part of being selective is playing the games you know, like you know the actual, like he's a defender to pick and he's a forward, etc. Because it is just nailing the 5 that comes back to me every time. It's just like if you can nail the 5, you can play anyone.
Like knowing who's going to sub in and out is also like really helpful in the games. Also, like watching the games where like you see like the Feyenoord game earlier today, Hartman got hurt and was getting subbed at like the 35-40 minute mark. So if you know who's going to come in for Hartman, like you could in theory make that move and it could be helpful. The issue with the subs is that you lose the progress that you have been on in terms of your strategy, your tactics. So like, let's say your guy had 4 duels won. Well, it costs you 4 duels to sub him plus his points. So it can be really tricky in those spots.
So it'd be interesting to know that, like, well, not like before making the sub, you can kind of work out, right, okay, well, if this guy's not lost it or won any duels for me, and that's the tactic I've deployed, you know, I'm not at an advantage, but I'm just not losing anything, you know, by wiping his duels. I'm going to play the Lecce Valladolid game as well, by the way. I forgot that was on. So
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've got 2 cards in that, so I'm going to chance it. Why not?
Lecce Valladolid.
So if I go 4 for 4, I've got a little rivals box to open, which will be fun.
Yeah, I still haven't hit my 5 yet.
Ooh, okay.
I'm on 3 currently.
Nice. So he's being selective.
No, I'd be selective anyways, but I could probably play the Girona game. If I was playing the Girona game and actually playing it, I would go buy the Girona goalie and then the one player that I played that I don't have, I'd go buy their limiteds. Because I have 3 cards that I want to play that are solid. But yeah, so like there's the example, right? I have 2 rares and a super. I don't think that's good enough to play it, so I'm not.
But would you play them? Are those rares and supers going to be a part of the best 5 anyway?
Probably. They probably would probably be guys I would
smash. So they'll smash their faces off.
I don't agree with that assessment. You could play the best 5 and just lose because other people have it and higher powered.
I think the tactics would let you down more than the power difference. If you've got the best 5 versus
tactics,
a non-best 5.
I'm confident people are terrible at selecting the tactics. I had yesterday in the Gank game, I had the same lineup, I think, as the other guy, except for he picked, I don't even know. He picked Hogo Benita, which is like the worst tactic by a mile. And he picked it with like Tolu. So literally you're picking your 6'8" striker to go freaking dribble by people. Good luck with that. I played duels 1 and Tolu was involved in 26 duel opportunities. I had, let me see how many I had. So, all right, guess how many duels that I ended up with in this game. I'm going to go check it.
Like duels 1?
Duels 1. How many duels 1 did I end up with in the game yesterday?
35.
No, more.
Way more?
More. I had 24 at half.
Wow. 50.
It was somewhere in the 40 to 50 range. I don't know if I can find it because it was old and I think it's like cleared off my thing. Yeah, so like maybe I can. I'm trying to find it because like it was literally like I can't find it. So it was they had like 40 with like 8 minutes to go in the game.
Wow.
But the guy picked Hogo Benita. I'm like, I don't think you should be picking that with your 6'8" striker. All right, here's a question. Why, for the tactics, why did they pick one contest as one of the 5 options?
They must think that, you know, going for like maybe 2 or 3 dribblers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but like here's the issue. They also are duels. So like you would just pick duels most of the time anyways.
It is a weird one, but then,
I think it's an easy statistic to like build a little chain for like, you know, where does Joga Benito start? Is it 3 or 2? I don't think it starts that high to get on it.
6. I think it's 3, 4, 6.
Yeah. See if anyone here has won it. We can see. I doubt it for this game right enough, but yeah. So I think for the shooting one, I think for some of these stats they wanted them to be low counters because like the duels one is quite a high one. Tiki Taka is a really high number. Like just you're entertaining, you're visualizing through the match. So I think that was maybe part of it. And like dribbling is like you can watch. Like if you think about Man City, you could maybe have like Doku and Foden and I don't know, somebody in midfield or something, and like them dribbling by somebody and breaking into space. You can kind of watch out for that. I don't know.
So I think there's two teams that make sense for it. But the issue is, again, I'm still just gonna go duels because then I can like get duels. The only two teams where I think it's like relevant are like City because of Doku and those guys, and then PSG. If you have like Hakimi, Mbappe, Dembele, like it's probably decent there. But like, again, like you're probably just taking duels because they're then you're live for literally everything.
Yeah.
Park the Bus in the Juve game actually sounds pretty good.
My boy Tanguy Nianzo, actually our boy Sean. Sorry, I should say.
Yeah. I see he's living again.
Yeah, he's back. He's alive. Him, Ramos, and Bade as the back. Well, yeah, back three, back five.
So Quinny, if you were making a common only lineup for the Girona game, what's your 5?
The same 5 that I've picked anyway.
Okay. All right. So we'll see it afterwards.
Yeah.
I think my 5 would probably be the same.
Yeah. I'm quite fortunate, but a lot of mine are nice colours, so. It's definitely, I'm definitely that'll be a bit of a discovery game for me, I suppose. We'll see who I'm faced up against. But no, it'd probably be the same. Because the cap's quite lean as well. The cap plays a bit of a part in it as well, in terms of selecting the best 5.
Thank you for the reminder. I don't think I picked the cap correctly. Sometimes it like bugs out on the cap for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. One thing I've noticed as well is I don't think the subs play into the cap at all.
They do. So if the sub is your captain, he just becomes your next captain.
Oh no, I meant cap on the actual the cap score for the game.
Gotcha.
So if you had somebody that was cheap or something.
I did not.
Quinny,
captains.
Have a look. Get my screen up if you can.
Of course, yeah.
I just want to show who I've been matched up against in this Lecce game. Ooh. So I've gone full Juve, right? This guy's gone, Lecce keeper, and he's captain Vlahovic. He's like,
I went Lecce keeper.
Yeah,
but Falcone over Szczesny all day.
Any sense, does it?
Really? Well, isn't Danilo the best player in this game by far? I don't really know these two teams very much, but I'm pretty sure he's way better, right?
Yeah, Danilo's a 60 L15, but what I'm getting at is my theory is I'm banking on knowing not knowing, but I think my 5 is the optimal 5, and the chances of somebody just being a little bit stupid, I think, than going for the Lecce keeper and captain in Vlahovic, which is just counterproductive, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is where I'm getting my edge, Quinny. You know what I'm saying? Right. That I think there's so many less variables I need to worry about, other than I think he might be just a little bit stupider than me at this game, because you know what I'm saying, that. Rather than dealing with all the XPs, that's kind of where, the whole variables thing.
On the face of it, right, is picking the Lecce keeper and captaining Vlahovic worse than, look who I'm facing, someone who's captained Weston McKennie and picked Kaba, who's up front for Lecce.
They're both horrendous.
They're both bad, yeah. They're horrendous.
Yeah, they're both terrible.
But I bet you he's captained the McKennie because he probably.
I bet we both losing now.
Yeah, I bet you captain McKennie though because he's the limited. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, which is terrible.
People will do that. Yeah,
correct. Which is still
suboptimal decisions that you've just got to prey on. Unfortunately, that is just the game we're playing right now. Until people get used to it and there's the edge becomes less edgy.
I got it. All right, I got to see if Harry's lineup is optimal here. Let me verify if I think Harold's lineup was optimal. Did you actually have to make sacrifices, Harry? I
did, yeah. So I think
the cap is tight when you want a Bremer or a Danilo in it.
My last pick was McKennie. I didn't want to go McKennie, but it was him or somebody else. Yeah.
You have Locatelli? No, you don't have Locatelli.
I didn't. No. So I went Danilo captain, McKennie, that Kenyan who's I've gone double forward basically.
Well, so here's the thing. I think any lineup without Danilo is not optimal.
Of course.
I think any lineup without Szczesny is not optimal. and I think any lineup without Vlahovic is not optimal. That would probably be my starting point, and then from there,
it's like who can you fit in, basically.
Yeah. And then from there, it's like who? Like I'd rather have Locatelli. Locatelli is definitely better than everyone else.
Did you get a Juve team in?
No, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
He was off the line for Lecce, apparently.
Yes.
Gusto just said.
It is, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah. Corner whipped in. I don't know who it was that hit the shot, but then the goalkeeper and the defender of both, I think it's the defender that's got it, 'cause he kind of cheered afterwards. Ooh. We'll see if it gets awarded, but it was a clearance off the line. Juve, big Vlahovic in the box now, trying to get a one contest, but he can't do it. And then he skies the shot. It was a beauty indeed. I think the ELO part of it might come into it again as well, as you kind of further go up. I'm still kind of, because I'm only playing matches that I've got at least, like if I'm not watching it, I'll know the game inside out in terms of the teams involved. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. Since we spoke on the deadline show, Harry, I'm trying to get my win streaks up, to prove the point and all that, So yeah.
Are we of the opinion that like when you get randomly matched up?
You just exposed your Girona lineup, Quinny.
Who, me? Oh, Quinny did.
No, whoever's showing the screen.
No, it's Harry.
Oh yeah, it's mine. Yeah. I said I was playing 3 cards, like.
Yeah, he's playing Sevilla cards. No chance.
2 Sevilla cards. They just look. It looks fun.
So here's a funny, friendly thing. So like, scroll down here. If you scroll down to mine, like, I wonder if it shows you like what I'm playing. It shows Harry's matchup versus me, because it looks like it has different people. Yeah, so it shows what I'm doing. So we're on a level playing field there, Harry.
Yeah, somewhat. So who have you got super rare there? Then you must have. You can't be playing tank. You're not playing tank.
That's fun, isn't it? I love that.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
Give you a hint, Harry. I overpaid the shit out of him.
Ooh. I'm trying to think.
I mean, forward, to be fair. So, like, here comes your optimal discussion.
Click on the cards. He says, click on the cards. Does it show you?
Way. Yeah, it does. That's cool.
So that's another broken feature, I guess.
Oh, Mike of Pompey, fist bump to you, Scout.
Yeah, I love that, Mike.
So, anyways, so Savio versus Sagankov could be a difference of like who's optimal, who's not. But the thing is with Garcia out, Sagankov could take sets.
Yeah,
but like, here's the thing: like, you can't, like, let's say you have a Savio and you do not have Sagankov, or vice versa.
I've got no idea who takes sets. By the way, I watch them all the time. I've got no idea who take them.
I've not watched a game of theirs all season, but I'm pretty sure it's been Garcia, Sagankov, and then maybe Blind would be like your option to take them.
I think Blind.
But like, I doubt it'll be Blind. But like, Garcia probably takes 80-90% of their sets. So like, him being out opens up a lot of sets for the rest of the guys.
Shot on goal already for my bonus, which is fun in the Juve game.
Yeah, see, like if you play like, they need to give like big chances missed, and then you're like fist pumping that in with Vlahovic. You're like, 3 BCMs, yes sir.
Yeah, instead of contest 1 BCMs.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
never thought of that.
Kenny, where was your tweet, or where was your DM to me today with Goretzka?
Oh mate, I was dying to send it. Soon he come off the bench, I was like, go on, because Kimmich come off.
So
I was like, see Goretzka comes on and wins this game. Oh, it's going to be all caps.
I didn't get a DM. Yeah, so this dude, Harry. Now you're going to know, like, this is like once every 2 months type of thing. Every time Goretzka beats Kimmich, Quinny's in my DMs immediately. So quickly he's in my DMs. He DM'd me last week when Goretzka didn't even beat Kimmich.
But like got an assist or something, right?
Yeah, he got an assist. Still lost.
It got changed like.
and then he also like will slide in there sometimes when Frimpong beats Grimaldo, which like that happens once fun.
It's all good fun, but
Grimmy's running away with that, by the way, which I don't think is much of a shock, but he's like Grimaldo's like on it, isn't he?
Like, I mean, he's top 5 defender in Europe.
Oh, easy.
Frimpong is not.
He got injured yesterday, but Frimpong is apparently cleared to train next week, Quinny. If you didn't know, maybe you did.
Yeah, I've seen the tweet. Yeah. I think I got sent it by a few people.
Didn't accept my invite, so I guess.
Oh, doesn't know. I accepted everything. I went into the thing and I just always hit accept all. I'm sorry, mate.
I'm going to count that as a win by default, Harry.
Oh,
so
no chance.
Let's see the lineup now, Quinny, for the Girona game.
You sure I didn't accept you?
Yeah.
I accepted everything.
Wrong game.
No.
I mean, I only have one game. It's against Harry.
So I went with Gazzaniga, Couto, Herrera, Savio, and Martin.
Okay, so like you actually had, this is a game where you playing rivals makes sense because like you have a very good team. Like that's better than what I could have ran out there by a lot. Did you play rivals or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just hasn't loaded yet. But like there's a good shot you have, like you just win.
Yeah.
The disrespect to Daily Blend up here, Harry.
I'll say so. Look at this. I'm playing a guy with just Dimitrovic as the pro card, if that makes sense. So
yeah, so like you have a huge
and he has
lead.
Yeah, and he has.
You're not definitely going to beat him.
You're not definitely going to
beat him. No, of course.
But you have a better lineup and a better. Yeah, he picked Hugo Benitez. So
yeah, he's big contest one. I mean, Savio is probably quite good for that, to be fair, but.
Not that good.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Well, here we go. By the way, Girona. Oh, I thought they're playing out from the back there. I thought they were attacking.
I need
see the way the press was on there. That was mad. Sorry.
I need like 60 from Daily Blend for Champ D2 purposes.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually like put in my turd boxes there, and they all came out well.
Ooh, this guy's catching up.
Champ. I've got one card to run in Champ, and I'm not going to get a prize, but at the moment with two really crap scores, like I'm in touching distance. Like in theory, with two crap scores, I could get near something in Champ this week as well. So the scores have been weird there, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Bayern.
City didn't play. Liverpool was okay, but like they have people out. Bayern was bad; they didn't score. Real Madrid, other than like Vinny and Jude, they were terrible.
Yeah.
So like there was just a lot of not great stuff going on.
Leverkusen and Leipzig, a couple, kind of cancelled each other out, barring maybe a Grimaldo and no Vert, Musiala sort of turd box today. I don't know. It's a weird week actually compared to last week. Even though we've got more leagues, I think the scores are way lower this week.
Yeah, they were a lot of scores.
They were crazy last week.
Let me just get like a Daily Blend goal like right away. Just let me put it away.
The final game stuck on like 94 minutes on Sorare, by the way.
I don't know if it finished. It might have.
Oh, really?
There was I don't remember what the issue was. I don't think it was racist issue today, but it could have been. That was the issue yesterday in the Milan game. But they had an issue like with something going on at the end of that game where they stopped it. Then they restarted it, but I'm not sure if it finished after the restart or not.
Got you.
The striker for Lecce got a clearance off the line. That's always fun. say you're parking the bus if you're without saying it.
Yeah, that's wild.
Nice pass, Vlahovic. You suck.
McKenny, 7 AA, by the way.
I need like 100 to get the unique threshold from him.
Nice.
Yeah, solid 100 from McKenny. Like I literally think I need 100.
Like including bonus, but
I need like 100 like real points.
Oh really? Oh
yeah, I need like 95 or more. Not a great spot to be in.
No. Asking a lot for sure. We're after a triple and a decisive probably.
Yes, pretty much. Like he can get like it's just hard to get to 90 with him because like he's not going to get 30 AA regardless. He can get it. He can nick a goal. He's good in the air.
Oh, Sevilla by the way getting in behind Girona.
Not that it doesn't mean he's going to score right, but this guy who I'm playing against in the arena for the South African game has not picked Percy Tau. Not that he kind of needs to, but I'm just quite surprised that he hasn't done. But he'll end up beating me now that I've said that.
I didn't enter the arena on South Africa because I won my head-to-head in the Barca one to get me back on for one of 3. And then I thought I'll just do these 2 games. Like Juve, hopefully I should be able to crack the code there. And for the Girona game, like I've got big cards, so it should be all right. Oh, he's here. McBride Ace. Good to see you, mate.
Hello.
Good to see you, bud. You locked in for the games tonight?
No, I've won a few games in a row, so I've shat it.
He's balled it.
I'm keeping my powder dry. I'm on 4 out of 5, so I don't want to waste it on something. So I know it's been better, to be honest. I lost like 9 out of 11 or something. Like starting rivals was horrendous, but found a bit of form, so all good. Not complaining.
So you didn't fancy any of the games tonight? Did you get? Were you in the Barca game then?
Yeah.
You played anything today? Barca, yeah.
I played 6, so played the Fenerbahce, Feyenoord, what else? Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid. So played all of them. No Celtic games that we can play though. It's rubbish. Like
so. No Bucky Thistle.
You guys need to battle each other in the Celtic games. Nice.
Yeah.
Next week, Ross County at home. Be seeing you then. There's a time limit on it, though. There's a time limit on the streaks. Is that right? I don't.
Is there?
Someone said it resets whenever you play a game.
Right.
Like whenever you play another one, like it just restarts to 7 weeks. So like I think if you don't play anything for like a week, it like resets down to one maybe, but I'm not sure.
Right. Is it days or is it weeks?
It's
I thought I seen something like 16 days. Oh, is it 7 days? I thought I seen.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday because I had it because I hadn't played when I woke up.
I'll never last that long patience-wise. I'll end up playing Fenerbahce during the week or something. So Philly's wearing glasses, moustache in disguise. No, I just looked at this. It's
Love it.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, 6 days, 19 hours. So I've got 6 days, 19 hours. So,
Wes McKennie's down injured, holding his ribs.
That's not great. I need my shitty mids for cap mode.
Or his shoulder. Oh.
Is that a sub opportunity for me, Quinn, do you think?
Oh, if it maybe he's picked up a booking for his troubles.
Oh, great.
They're rotating his arm.
Injured and subbed. Injured and yellow card. Ugh. McBride, what are we saying about the Owen Beck situation? Gutted, yeah.
I thought he was. There was a pretty good chance Celtic were going to want him.
Kenny Hart.
I don't know, like why they've done that. Like they've played him, but maybe they just don't have any intention of letting him go back out again in this window. So it just seems a weird one because bring him back and then play Joe Gomez, and then Robertson's going to come back. And I don't know. Can you do like a? Yeah, I know that there's that rule, right? That UEFA rule, but can you do like a domestic loan? So could they send them to the championship or something like that, and then it goes round that rule? Because I know there's stupid rules where like you can do 1-2 month loans to the championship and all that sort of stuff because it's a lower down division. So I wonder if there's some sort of way around it that just doesn't involve them going to Celtic. I don't know.
Maybe they fancy him. They've got Europa League to play, and they've got like other stuff. You know, like Robertson.
Right? They played Joe Gomez out of position essentially. So I don't get it because they played the young guy in the right hand side and then played Gomez on the left. Though Bradley looks pretty good as well. I must say,
player.
He looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So, so I don't know. I mean, people say it's deliberate or whatever, but like Klopp might not even know that rule. He might just be like want to use him or whatever. You know, like he's probably not getting involved in stuff like that. Or just doesn't have any intention really of actually selling them. So I hope he gets some game time somewhere, obviously, because I've just bought 2 rares and 2 limited, thinking he might become the Celtic. He's a good young player, eh? It's what he could go back to Dundee. So
he could,
we could just send them back there.
I think it might hinge on maybe the next sort of what transfer will close 30th is it, or 31st or
31st.
Just like in that time, what is the condition of Robbo and Tsimikas looking like, and if it's like immediate, then it could be one of them ones where like they say you can kind of maybe go back, or it's a bit of a weird one, but that could happen, couldn't it?
All right, boys, I gotta run. Thanks for having me, Quinny. We'll catch you
Pleasure.
Maybe next weekend. I should be around next weekend, so if you guys are doing this Sunday, maybe I'll be around.
Pleasure, son. Have a good one, mate.
All right, see you guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Enjoy dinner. See you.
The only thing I don't like about rivals, right? Like it's good and you get involved in it and you enjoy it and all that sort of stuff, but you win a game, you don't actually get an R ticket. So like, all right, you like I'm glad I've actually had a streak because my previous streaks were horrendous. But like you wait that kind of 12 hours, you get a ticket, I actually built up a few tickets for the weekend, so I wanted to play
Sevilla 1-0.
Rivals games 1-0. So yeah, sorry.
Isak, it's on the back of his shirt. Don't know him. Isak Romero. It says on
Isak Romero. Suso assist, please. That'd be nice. So yeah, I know what you mean with Brad. I agree with you with that. They should sort of refund the ticket, shouldn't they? Maybe if you win potentially.
Yeah, because like look at today, like before that I'd done like terribly, so I was kind of waiting the 12 hours, getting the ticket, maybe building one or two up if I wanted to play one or two the next day, or just getting involved or whatever. Then you get on a wee run. But like even earlier, like I won the 3 and I got like 3 more tickets. So that's fine, but you had to use 3 tickets to get in the 3 games. Then I used the other tickets this afternoon. Now I've only 1 left. So like if I wanted to play a couple of games like tonight, I can only play a maximum of 1 now. Now obviously I've played quite a lot of games today, and I know why they're maybe want to keep it under control so that people are not playing loads of games. But football's quite kind of intensive on certain days. Like you get like loads of games on Saturday, loads of games on Sunday, all that sort of stuff. So like if you're just going to go through the week and just go on and claim it and build them up or whatever, that's fair enough. But if you get a big weekend of football and you win, but then you lose again, you lose the streak, then it's going to take you like the whole week to get back on the streak, if that makes sense. So I suppose like engagement wise, if you want people to play and you want people to maybe buy the odd limited tier there to try and improve their teams or whatever, it might be better if you kept your ticket if you won the game or whatever. But I suppose the boxes are a lot of the tickets, but like winning 5 games in a row is not easy at all, so pretty hard.
Yeah. It feels like they're making them very scarce when realistically you probably don't want them to be that scarce until maybe they start charging for them. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, you could be in a situation where you're just stuck. You want to play, but you obviously don't have the ticket. So it's a waiting game, and they're losing engagement whilst that's happening. You know what I'm saying? They want you realistically to be playing as many games as possible. I'd like to think more chances of buying cards. More this, more that.
It's maybe just one of those who want to like the Girona scored.
Penalty South Africa.
Ooh, Percy Tau time, baby. Oh, and he scored. What a man. Percy Tau, baby.
I'm not at the Girona goal yet. But it's one each now.
Yeah.
So let's see. Number 27, is that in midfield? Savio out on the left. Does the man for pace. Contest 1 probably. Swings it into the box. Back post. Header. Dolph bike. 1 each.
Savio assist.
Savio assist.
Come on, baby. Needed that.
Apologies, I'm ahead of you, Quinny. I'll shut up for now and then, right?
No, that's fine, man. No, it's no problem. I'm maybe ahead of you in one of the games. I'll probably Percy Tau with a goal from the penalty spot. 1-0 to the South Africans.
I quite like AFCON. Like I don't mind watching some of the games, but one of the most mental things of it is that we're doing a stream and we're talking about Percy Tau. It's like Sunday night and like Girona, fair enough, and all that sort of stuff. But there'll be people like playing rivals and all that in these types of games. And the only other thing I don't like about it is like I know why they've done it, because obviously first weekend people who didn't have cards were all up the top of the leaderboard, and that would have been probably a negative effect if everybody that did have loads of cards was up the top, because they were just saying, what's the point in this? Nanzo and me, but we're all up the top of the leaderboard and it's going to be impossible to win. But when you put in a team and you've got like Sorare or whatever, you put them in, it just fires you in against like a 5 limited stack or whatever, So like I think they've got to watch that, because if people like say they don't have any cards or whatever and say I'm going to buy 2 limited cards for this game, but then the ELO pairs them up against somebody else with 2 limited cards, well, what's the advantage in buying them there? You want to like create demand for people to actually improve their teams and stuff like that. But maybe it will just kind of iron out a lot more once like the guys with more cards actually get further up the ranking. But more movement in the Girona game, Quinn Dog.
Aye, I've got it in the chat here.
More movement. Wow.
Home.
Let's see it. So Sevilla attacking, I'll probably get to see it. Are you actually watching it, McBride? Girona, yeah?
No, I'm up in the room, so I've got the notifications on.
Savio, 1 contest, running down the line, Does it? Oh, plays it into space for 24, cuts it back, and it is Dovbyk. Who was that? Porto. I think Porto with the assist. No, Savio fires it in. Might be Porto with the assist. Hopefully it's Martin.
That's just
top scorers in the league for a reason.
Just sensational.
Yeah, it's Porto with the assist. Number 24. Dovbyk rinsing it. Double decisive. What a game, by the way. I knew this would be the most exciting one because the Barca Betis game was fireworks. Obviously, Real Madrid was chaos as well. The whole weekend's been... All the games that have been on the telly have been pretty decent, I think.
Yeah. That's another pet hate of mine as well. Like, I'm going to spark some debate here, but I thought Sky earlier and there's like 2 WSL games on, right? I thought the Bayern game was on, but it's only on in Germany. So I couldn't watch Bayern Bremen, and then it's another game on later on or whatever, and it's like, why are Sky showing Sheffield United, West Ham, and WSL when you've got like Bayern Munich, Werder Bremen, and all? I don't get it. Like, put the women's games on. I don't like whatever, right? But I want to watch the Bayern game. Like, do you know what I mean? It's Bayern. Yeah. I want to watch Bayern. There's a title race in Germany. Like, I want to watch Bayern against Bremen. Like, I just 100%. Seems bonkers to me sometimes, some of the decisions for the scheduling. But anyway, Celtic Bucky Thistle was on TNT, so maybe I should shut up.
Do you know, I was a bit gutted. I didn't know that the cup games were on TNT, because I would have definitely watched the Rangers game, because I'm from Dumbarton. I used to live right next to the stadium.
Fireplay. Is Fireplay wins it? Rather?
It's in the same... It's in Prime TV for me. It's all in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all the same people, I think. So La Liga TV and all that's all on the same wee menu for me on that.
Yeah.
On Prime. But I know I didn't even know if Dumbarton were playing Rangers until like last week or something when we were talking about the Bucky Thistle game for the Celtic stuff, and then I heard somebody say Dumbarton Rangers. I was like, what? But I've got to miss that on the telly, because seeing wee Dumbarton Stadium on the telly is always good crack. But I didn't tune in for the Bucky Thistle one. Your tweet, McBride, I think it was yesterday. It must have been. I had to retweet it. But anyone that was watching Brentford Forest over the fucking Leipzig Leverkusen game definitely needs watching.
I know the Forest and Brentford game turned out pretty good game and all that as well. But like, if you get a chance, just watch Leverkusen this season. And even Leipzig, like, obviously we're 2-1 up, and there was just so many good footballers on show. It was unbelievable, honestly. Like, just what a game of football, man. Like, I just like see the way Leverkusen play as well. Like, it just kind of reminded me a wee bit of like watching like the old Barcelona team and stuff as well. They just knocked the ball about so well. It was just all wee one touch pass and move type stuff. They were absolutely brilliant. And Leipzig are like no easy away game either, eh? Like, and so points that were just playing them off the pitch. It was brilliant. Superb game of football.
That was brilliant. It's like, obviously I'm kind of back in Leverkusen quite a lot this year with cards and just watching them. It's great fun. But I'm obviously a bit of a Leipzig fan for the most part when it comes to German football. And that game was like pure epitomised what Leipzig have been all about for the last like 4 seasons, where it's like they can score a wonder goal, they can rip any team open and get a goal or two, but they can't beat anybody. You know, they can't beat everybody, certainly. You know, they can lose to MD. It's probably the way of putting it. So it was a great game to watch for sure. But I was watching that from that kind of point of view, thinking it's just fucking nothing's changing. It's just the same crap every time, man. Look good and don't deliver. But Leverkusen are delivering. You know what I mean? They're putting that away. And a bit of praise in the chat here for Nkapi. He's a bit of a cult hero in the Sorare community, I think, as well. He's got some big scores under his belt.
They've got next weekend, so I think John Taz suspended. Tapsoba's still at the AFCON, and so is Odilon. So they've got like Leverkusen have got like no defenders next weekend. Although I say that they've got Nkapi and probably guys they can bring in. But like, you're right about Leipzig. I mean, Leipzig played some brilliant stuff. Like Xavi Simons he's an unbelievable player. That guy, he will go on to be an absolute out and out star player. He's so good. But then they conceded 2 goals from set pieces. So for all of Leverkusen's brilliance and all that type of stuff, they did concede 2 goals from set pieces as well. So that'll be the kind of frustration if you're a Leipzig nutcase or whatever. But more action in the Girona game.
3-1. Kuto with the assist. Kuto with the assist. Dovbyk for the hat-trick.
Man, they are what an unbelievable team they are. Honestly.
That's that, isn't it?
They're going to win the league. They're going to win the league.
That would be
Girona.
Quinny Dimitrovic was not the play. You tried to.
Nah.
It wasn't, was it?
Nah, 3 conceded. Game over for him.
Yeah.
Savio running wild. But it's probably my only good pro team that's left is under 23s. So Couto and Savio, I forgot Savio's in this team. Need to be the Kelme tomorrow. I'm cooking.
See that Couto to Real Madrid link as well. That to me would actually make perfect sense, to be honest. Like, he would be
Brazilian.
Unbelievable at Real Madrid. Although he's already unbelievable at Girona, but like, it's just like they're so good.
It'd be interesting to see when Carvajal kind of like hangs them up, if that makes sense, because he's still sort of playing at a very high level, obviously, and just it'd be interesting, wouldn't it, to see when that sort of ends, and maybe like a Couto, or obviously they want Davies, don't they? Obviously for left back, that's kind of rumored, and they definitely need some younger defenders, I would say. Real Madrid.
Frimpong. Imagine Frimpong.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
They say he's got a 40 million release clause in the summer, so like
Frimpong's got to be number 1 target for anyone looking for a right back, hasn't he?
If Leverkusen win the league, which doesn't really look out of the question after Bayern get beat to Werder Bremen, like, will he really actually be that bothered about leaving? Like, I don't know. I mean, I suppose if it's Real Madrid or whatever, but like, it's not really one of those where you think he's just going to go to somebody randomly in England or whatever, But depends who's in for him as well, because I heard Arsenal rumour as well, and that would be pretty hard to turn down, like being a kind
back to City, maybe.
Yeah,
he's a scholar there, wasn't
he? Yeah. That's where we pinched him from.
Yeah. That was a good move.
That was fantastic, man.
We seen him, Quinny. Like, it was just like we knew he was a player, and he was always like kind of not brilliant for the defensive point of view and all that sort of stuff. But some of the stuff he was doing going forward was just unbelievable. So
it was unbelievable. But we were all very surprised. Like, he got bought off as Rapid. There was no real rumours, and it was a good fee that they paid for him. Yeah. And I thought like he was going to die in the Bundesliga. He was really wiry. He's obviously still a wee guy, but when you see him now, man, he's built. He's ripped. But when he was at us, he was a wee wiry guy. And I thought he'll die in the Bundesliga.
Young, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like 18, fresh face.
Like Cole Palmer, kind of that way. He is just like he's like a teenager. He looks like a wee guy at high school almost. It was like that for Frimpong, but tiny as well, because he's not a big guy. So I thought he was. He's also good enough and all that. We kind of seen that in him, like you say, McBride. He was phenomenal, but I thought he'd be like a winger, which he kind of is, I guess. But he has made his job at right. He's still a right back. Like, we're talking about Real Madrid signing him for a right back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Him and Grimaldo must be the best back pair in world football at the moment. Like, I can't get to, like, obviously I suppose like Trent and Robertson, if they were both firing, is really good, but they've not really actually fired together this season. So outright just now for this season, the way they're playing, Grimaldo and Frimpong must be the best pairing at the moment. So amazing to watch.
I agree.
Grimaldo as well. I actually had 2 of his rares at one point, and then he was rumoured to go somewhere which wasn't a very good move, and I ended up like getting rid of them in the January window, and then he moved to Leverkusen, and I thought, all right, he's went to Leverkusen, like, it's a harder league and all that stuff. He's just been unbelievable. It's just been amazing. Like, I don't know how he's still keeping it up. So one of those, you think surely he's going to have a couple of games where he doesn't get a decisive, and he just keeps doing it and doing it and doing it. It's just incredible.
In that type of formation, though, like those wing backs it's made to like get wide and get crosses in, isn't it? And I know he takes sets which help, but it's sort of set up in a way that like he is like on the production line all game, basically, as far as if they're not going down the right side and stretching it that way, they're stretching it left wing back, and he's sort of just making things happen. So yeah, it's definitely
he takes like the in swinging sets as well. So
free kicks as well.
Hoffman's taking him one side, he's taking him, because that's how he got the second assist. Like, it was just like basically ball swung over, a really good ball into the back post, and he got the decisive and stuff like that. So I suppose he's got kind of a couple of options, but he seems to be popping up with like goals from open play. Like, the first goal was the ball across was absolutely superb. 2-0 South Africa.
Nice finish, by the way. Nice break down the right-hand side. Cut back for like between the penalty spot and 18-yard box. And the boys just stepped onto it, right foot, wazzled it into the net. Good finish. South Africa are buzzing. It shows you the Namibia fans. And they're all wearing T-shirts. It's like their flag. You can see their flag there on the screen a little bit. And they all look so sad right now. They're wearing these pure happy shirts, with a pure colourful flag on it.
Why is there a guy called Shithole in midfield?
Yeah, sit home. Aye.
That's sit home. Right.
He's my captain. Captain sit home. He's the only guy who plays in Europe. He plays for Tondela, who are in the Portuguese league. He's not the only guy with a card. That's somebody else.
That's pretty funny.
I think that's Daily Blind, by the way. He took a shot to the face in the box.
Oh.
Should be okay. The ref is calling over for assistance, but from the sideline. It should be okay.
Burn away in the cup, Quinny.
Bit of a... Yeah, it's like somebody's like palmed him or thumbed him in the eye or something. It's not even been a head... Oh, maybe it has been a head knock, actually. Let's see. Sorry, McBride, you're going to say that again. 2 seconds. Oh, let's see. I can't really tell. It looks like somebody just touched him in the face, but then somebody else rubbed their head. So maybe it was like a coming together. Sorry, McBride, can you ask me that again?
St Mirren away in the Scottish Cup. Celtic.
Oh, for us? Oh, that'll be good. That'll be good. Good game.
That's a tough one, isn't it? We don't always play that well there, to be honest. So at least it's not an SO5 game.
Yeah, fair. But I don't think St Mirren probably will take it quite seriously, I suppose. But
aye. This would give a good doing the last time, but we were in good form at that point. So
the cup draws, I'm always happy if we're not going to Edinburgh or Aberdeen or obviously Ibrox or whatever. If we avoid those 5, I'm normally like, cool, that's fine. Motherwell, St Mirren, fucking Hamilton, whatever. I don't care. Should be fine. But you never know. If it's Inverness Calais, it's a different story.
Think we'll still sign a left back then? This big thing changing. Think we'll still go in for
I think they've been hanging off for Beck, clearly, because Beck's been on the bench for 3 games. You were talking about it earlier in much better detail, obviously, but he's the deal scuppered as of today now. So I can imagine that at Celtic Park or Lennoxtown right now going, right, plan B, C and D, get them on the phone, pronto, and that's who they're talking to at the moment. Because like we were talking about it in the chat with the Sorare CSE guys, the guys from the Odyssey that do the show as well. Me and you, I think, are in agreement. But Beck is definitely a left back that we should be signing if we can, because he's the sort of guy, like, if Liverpool are going to keep him, this will come at fruition very quickly. But I said in the chat, it's like he's the sort of guy that we don't sign him and then he comes out good and then everyone goes, oh, Celtic are so stupid, drop the ball on John McGinn, drop the ball on Owen Beck, and it would be that kind of chat. So, like, I think he's a guy that could have done the job for us and we should have probably signed. And
I'm glad we tried at least, though. I'm glad we tried. Like, if it doesn't work out, then fair dues. But at least we've tried. I mean, maybe like Liverpool kind of see him as somebody who could like be a really good squad player there at least. But I think Robertson's probably got a good couple of seasons left in him. So it's like, how long is he willing to wait type thing,
If Beck steps up, do we sign Robertson in the summer?
I would love to see it, but I don't know. I mean, I think he's still good enough for Liverpool, to be honest. I mean, he's not hugely old, is it? 31 or something? Like, he's not as old as me.
But I think he'll want to play for us in the Champions League. Like he has that's definitely something that's in his makeup.
I'm gonna have to keep that unique just in case then, isn't it? So I'm gonna be like, I'm just going to make my good bid. I'm going, no, Quinny said he's going to sing for Celtic, so I'm just going to have to keep it.
Is he a Celtic fan, do you know?
Yes.
He is.
He's a big Jungle Gym.
He came through the Celtic youth system and then he left the Celtic youth system and then he went to, was a Queen of the South, and then he went to Dundee United when he was younger.
And then Hull, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Contracted at Liverpool until 2026, so it's probably... the summer after this one is probably when the discussion can happen for Robbo.
Yeah.
The problem with Beck is, I don't know if you know, but his uncle's, what's his name? Ian Rush. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You told me that, actually. I didn't know that, but you have told me that.
Obviously with his connections with Liverpool, I don't know. I think they're going to try and keep him as, they're going to want to keep him, cushy in that sense, but at the end of the day, if he's not playing games of football as a 21-year-old kid he could be like in this, well, obviously Wales got those qualifiers now in March, he should be our starting left back, really, even though he's never made his debut for us. I don't think he's played a first team game. He was in the squad, I think, for the last maybe friendly or something. with what he's done with Dundee, there's no way he can't be in that squad and to be playing. He just made his Prem debut, obviously, so that he's definitely going to be in the squad. So it's just like, and I know our manager really wants all the players, Nico Williams is, Danny Wards, the boys who aren't playing right now for their teams to go out and play because, obvious reasons. So it's like, just be interesting to see. They'll have Wales might be in their ear a little bit, going like, not that they've got any pull over Liverpool, but you know what I'm saying, like go play games if you can, type of thing. If it's out of your control,
Williams
it's out
still
of your
left back.
well, no, he's right foot. Yeah, he's right footed, Nico, so he can play left back, but he's a right back, Nico. For some reason, Connor Roberts gets a game of football for us, which should not be happening. But yeah, when Beck comes through, it'll be Nico sort of right wing back and Beck left wing back, because we play like a 3 or 5.
Love to see that Feyenoord move coming off when they like.
I know. Well, that's weird. You said that. Fucking Hartman going down injured, by the way. Do we know how bad that injury is? Because
Didn't see.
If that's a naughty one, Nico could be off, because he could get guaranteed game time there at left back. Or not guaranteed, but you know what I'm saying? A better, like an easier route to game time, let's say.
Yeah, I think the problem Feyenoord are going to have is that they're going to struggle to keep guys like Hanko and Gertrude. Like, assuming we watched him at Parkhead, Quinny, but I mean, Hanko looked really, really good. Like, he looks like a guy who could take a step up to a proper team, and people would go, "No, this guy's pretty good," and is a revelation. That, like, of course, we know he's good. Like, Feyenoord won the league last season, right, and it looks good. So, I think he'll be linked to a lot of big teams. And Gertrude, like, I don't know. I mean, say like if Hanko goes, Gertrude could play centre back as well. So I think there's a couple of scenarios there. So it's an interesting one.
Aye, the final team's definitely get picked apart. The defence are all tanks. They're all absolute units. You know what I mean? Even Hartman, all of them. Weaver looks tidy as well, but I think like Gertrude, Hanko, Hartman, like they're all going to be top of people's wish lists in the summer.
I think Gimenez, like he was kind of quite quiet at Parkhead. Like, Celtic done quite well overall, but when he did get the ball out, he scored. Actually, it was offside. It just looked really, really clinical. Like, so I think like these guys do stuff like that. Like, obviously they got the EPL and they look as if they can hit cow's ass with a banjo and all that sort of stuff. But he looks like a guy who could go on and be proper clinical. So I think
he's quick as well.
Yeah, he's good movement. So
good left foot. He got a wicked shot on him as well.
What's that?
He got a wicked shot on him. Like, his left foot's really like, he got like a really powerful sort of shot on him, as most sort of pros do. But his left-footed players just look better, don't they? Technically. And he's a weird one. He just looks really, aesthetically nice.
Yeah, the goal he scored was like, it get chopped off, but he just kind of movement in behind the defence and just rounded the goalkeeper. So it's like, obviously Celtic Park Champions League night, like you've got to have a good deal of composure to do that. Most people will go through and they'll just want to shoot and all that sort of stuff. Because even like when away they come on at the end, like he didn't look that good. He was just like blootering balls for 30 yards, and it looks as if he lacked composure and stuff. So like Gimenez looked really good. I mean, Feyenoord had a lot of good players. It's not like it was a proper game of football, Really, really good watch.
How crazy was it today, though? PSV didn't get the 18-win streak. He fucking drew against Utrecht away.
Did they? Oh, wow. I missed that.
1-0 up, 7 minutes in, and then conceded like late. Well, second half or something. Well, I can't remember. First half, maybe second half.
Yeah,
1-0.
No Joey Veerman, but like, so that's like.
Yeah, that was a big miss, wasn't it? Big miss.
Such a good player, isn't he? Like,
he's a joke. He's unbelievable.
It's like O'Reilly been out for Celtic, or Hatate, like it has been.
Yeah. Although I would say, Quinny, I thought Big Bernardo was good again today. I know we're playing against pretty much no one, but like he took that first goal really, really well. So I don't know, like about a couple of weeks ago or whatever, I was like, 5 or 6 million for this guy. I'm not so sure, but I'm kind of in the school of thought now. If he's 4 or 5 million or whatever, or 6 million euros, then I would pay that for him. Like he looks, he's really, really coming on to a game now, Bernardo, to be honest.
Man, when I watched him in that, when you played Lazio away?
Yeah.
I watched the game for like 20 minutes. I'm not just saying it, like he just stood out to me straight away. Like he was so aggressive in the tackle and stuff. I was like, hang on a minute, this kid's proper up for this. And him and O'Reilly played quite well that game. But yeah, that was the first time I saw him play, and I was just thinking, you don't stay at Benfica for that long and not be a bad player. Do you know what I mean? It's just impossible. They have a bit of a conveyor belt of youngsters, especially midfielders. They have a knack of breeding through midfielders. So yeah, he is he looks really good, I think. Really, really good.
I think it would be like the problem he's got just now is I still think that Hatate will play in front of him, but I think that if Celtic are going to be tempted by big money for O'Reilly at some point, then Bernardo would be like the ideal kind of O'Reilly replacement in midfield, because you still have McGregor, you have him in there, and hopefully like Hatate or whatever as well. They're like those guys, Hatate, McGregor, and O'Reilly are all on long-term contracts. You always laugh at these like rumours and stuff, and like these stupid fees, 10 million and stuff like that. There's no way Celtic are selling Matt O'Reilly for 10 million. It's like 45, 50 million for just getting in the Champions League this season. So you're not even going to think about taking money for players until the summer. And yeah, he seems quite happy at Celtic just now as well. Sometimes players come in and just say, well, I want my move and all that sort of stuff. Then you've got to just let them get on with it as long as the fee's right. But like, he's going nowhere in January anyway, that's for sure. So
That's just mad money, like 40, 50.
Yeah, well, that is Champions League money, right? So you could take that and you could still potentially get in the Champions League as well, But the problem is, I don't trust us to re-spend it as well, although that's probably a bit of a sort of weird statement given that O'Reilly was 1.5 million. So like, we've picked a few out, but we've also had loads of examples of bad recruitment over the last couple of years as well. So it's not easy to get those gems or guys who are going to come in and just perform consistently and all that type of stuff as well. So
I don't trust to spend the money well either. It's just for all the money we get. I've seen this with Mark Patrick Reid on the Celtics are here. I think it was Thursday or something. But I really want the board to get extra greedy when they get a taste of this Champions League money, and they go, "Wow, man, we made 100 million. Well, we better make sure that we get that money again, and let's go and spend 40, kind of thing, rather than this whole go and spend 10 crap,
See, that's why I like Beck though as well, because like he's come and he's played in Scotland and he's done well. So, but we bought guys like like Bernabei, who seem to be relatively well rated and still spent like 3 million on him, and he's not really fitted in. So like, I know Beck was playing at Dundee, it's no offence to Dundee, but like when you see a guy coming in and performing really well in the league, at least you can see that like you've got an example there to bring him in to Celtic. Whereas sometimes people come in, and the Scottish League is a bit different. Sometimes teams play quite physical and all that type of stuff, and it just doesn't really actually suit them as well. So yeah, if there was a few million on the table for Beck and Liverpool were willing to take it, then I would have paid the money for him. But obviously that's off now unless Celtic do something more sort of temporary and go after the move again this summer. But I said Liverpool might just not be interested in that at all. It's understandable.
Yeah, Mikey. We had a good win yesterday, Mikey. We're in the middle of nowhere. It felt like up in South Gower, which is Swansea way, for those who are familiar with Welsh geography. Massive win. They're second in the league. They hadn't won a game in they hadn't lost a game, and dropped a point in like 6 games, I think it was. So yeah, that was a massive win for us yesterday.
GG, Sari.
Yeah, it was a big one, to be fair. We were nowhere near expected to go and get a result there away from home as well. But it was good. And then I didn't start yesterday, to be fair. I only had 15 off the bench, but started that game where we got a draw last week. But what's that? 7 points from 9, which is quite good for a team that don't pay any money, because everyone else in the league pays. So literally, we're the only team that paid to play.
JJ17, you can make a sub. You just need to be really sharp off the mark. And McKennie is still on the pitch, by the way, just to clear all that up. But yeah, Harry, you need to get yourself a transfer to Bucky Thistle or something then.
I need Tony Watt to get me a trial at Dundee United. Nah, no chance. I'm done.
You don't want that.
You don't want that.
Oh, that might be 3-0 for South Africa, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Ball down the left.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, by the way, the guy goes all by himself. What a goal that is. Guy takes it on the left. He's kind of, he's face up with the guy, just takes him into space, further into the box. It gets into the 6-yard box, and then he just lifts it front post into the roof of the net over the keeper. Number 11, danced down the line. Let's have a look. It is 3-0. It's just showing up here. And number 11 is Wani, the guy that got the second goal. So GG's to that man. He's rinsing it. He's a player.
Shitholes with a big chance missed as well.
Fucking shite bag, man.
Quite literally.
Oh, that's a belter.
Quite literally.
Big sit hole, shat the bed. Big chance missed.
The AFCON's like a bit of chaos as well, and it's just like there's
madness, isn't it?
Even like the commentators and stuff as well. You just like it just seems to.
I've got it muted so I don't get copyrighted.
No, I mean like just like watching the games, but definitely so madness.
It's the first one I managed to catch, but I've seen some of the clips come out from like some of the goals or some of the mad stuff that's happened. I can't even think of what it's been so far, but there's been a lot of people kind of covering it and they say retweeting stuff and posting stuff about it.
There was do you see that one? The guy that was it Algeria? The ball he played in, he chested it up and he overhead kicked it for like 18 yards out. And it was offside.
Yeah,
it'd have been like goal of the tournament. And like
robbed of the Puskas Award.
Yeah, no, it'd have been a beauty.
So half-time in the Juve game, I am losing by 13 points. It's 0-0 currently. This Captain McKennie versus my Captain Locatelli isn't working out too good. But let's hope for a wee bit better in the second half for that one. Did you get a team in for this one, McBride, yourself?
No, I didn't. As I said,
of course, sorry. I actually that.
Sometimes I just play like them as like sort of friendlies and stuff like that. I'm trying to accept it. And that's the other thing I don't like as well. I always get like, say, 150 requests or whatever, but it only shows you 50 games. So, like, I think it's just because obviously maybe they're just in beta just now and they want the system to go completely bonkers. But I got loads of requests, but it only shows you 50. So, kind of my results look really good, but for some reason it picks the ones that are most similar, whatever. I don't know. So hopefully they can kind of expand that at some point. So I think that the giveaway thing I run for the Arsenal game was like 603 matchups or something, which was just completely bonkers. But it just shows you the general kind of like community aspect and everything. The rivals, like I think like they've done. Like I hope they do as good a job with Pro.
Don't neglect your bread and butter, like, isn't it?
Aye. I think they'll come to that, but I mean, like, you know, like we had the World Cup thing and they run a really good World Cup tournament and people came in and stuff, but they didn't retain a lot of people. So like if you had something like this in place for the World Cup, then it's easy saying it in hindsight. And obviously it's taken them months to develop something like this, but good thing is it does look really good, and the general feedback and everything from people, like say a few people who normally play FPL or whatever are playing their FPL, but then they're getting involved in individual games or are trying to go for like a reward, and it seems like there's a kind of route into the game. Like imagine like you do like get your 7-game streak or whatever and you pull a tier 1 limited or whatever, you could just sell it and just get money out, but you might be tempted to buy a couple of cards and play. So that all kind of makes like pretty good sense to me. So
I saw someone won a Julian Brandt from like, I don't know which streak it was, but he won a Brandt, and it's like 50 quid card. Do you know what I mean? That's a you know, I know he's a good card, but you know, if you don't want to put any money and you sell that, you got a team and a half there basically, haven't you? If you want to play, you know, whatever 240, what, you know, for the time being. Start
playing the caps or whatever. Because I like, you know, I say I play the sort of fan team version of FPL because I just can't. There's nothing that would make me feel more sick than beating 8 million people and just winning nothing. Like I think I would actually physically just puke up. But like I do get that, like obviously why people do it. People in mini leagues, people, you know, like the competition and just the challenge, and it's accessible and all that sort of stuff. So I understand all that, but like I'd rather kind of play a few matches like the individual games over the weekend. I think like when you've got these big weekends on as well, you could have like other formats involved in rivals as well. If you just run like, say you picked like the best games of the weekend and made it into like a mini league type format where you could play over more individual games or whatever as well. So there's loads and loads of scope, I think. Somebody won a Will Dennis as well. He's probably about 20-30 quid. So, for a game that you don't need to put any money into, then that's really good, right? And there's mystery jerseys and all that sort of stuff involved as well, eh? So, and just hopefully that exposure converts people into enjoying Sorare. I guess the thing with the streaks is that you don't want people just winning 3 games, trying to win a jersey or a good card, winning 3 games, the streaks can encourage people to try and get deeper and deeper into a game. So see how if they can keep that overall, if they can try and coax people into playing the actual pro version and all that sort of stuff. But definitely a brilliant step in the right direction anyway.
Yeah, I'd just be interested to see how they do bridge the sort of gap, or whatever we're going to call it, from rivals to pro, because like you could easily get into like a routine of just playing rivals, can you, if you're quite new to this game? It's quite easy just to be like, what is Sorare Pro? Like, what do I need to do that? I'm playing single games here. This is fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost too much dopamine in playing these rival games.
Yeah.
Compared to the pro, even though we, as long sort of standing users, we understand, what comes with the pro side. But as a new user, I think it might be quite hard to like work that out in your brain, I think.
Yeah. I suppose our thing as well is that if everybody ends up liking rivals more than pro, then pro might come back more towards what rivals is like as well, but actually having the rewards available for the big cards. So, you could have that kind of in the middle scenario where you've got more individual type games. So at the moment it's like a division and you can pick from all of them and all that sort of stuff. But you don't have many just like single league type things. Like you don't have like an SPFL contest, or you don't have a Celtic game contest or whatever. So it's kind of quite interesting in terms of how people adapt to that. I think like actually having a mix of everything would be pretty good as well, if you know what I mean. Because obviously in the pro, we've been trying like longer formats to try and keep people engaged over the sort of 6, 7, 8 game weeks and all that type of stuff. So having different options to suit what people prefer themselves is good, because I like the long format stuff as well. I think that's got its own form of like engagement. But yeah, like tonight, like I don't have anything on SO5 wise, so I'd be quite happy to just kind of see what's going on in rivals and stuff. So at least it keeps you involved in Sorare in some way in football, rather than just saying, "Oh, what am I doing now? What fire on the golf?" Or end up having to watch one of the crap programs the wife watches.
I've been roped into one of them. It's been pretty decent. But no, I'm with you on the way. And I think with rivals, like for me personally, like I don't think it's ever going to overtake the pro game, because it is, like I was saying earlier with Sean and Harry when we're going through kind of some of the kind of nuances we've all kind of had with it so far. I'm only really using it when I'm watching matches. I'm not doing it constantly. Like, see the running out of tickets part that you were talking about. Like, I can't imagine running out of tickets, because I claim every 12 hours and, don't, 7 days a week watch more than 2 games of football a day as an average, So I think eventually, like, should you not be naturally accumulating some anyway?
It's just the weekends, isn't it, is the issue.
Yeah.
There's just an overload of games, isn't there? I agree. You in the midweeks, you could probably accumulate quite quickly, couldn't you? And not like have that itch maybe as much as on the weekend. So yeah, I know what you mean. You definitely probably don't watch 14 games a week, do you really, Quinny? But like the weekend is
today. What are you talking about?
Sunday's an exception. Come on.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Like, there'll be some wee tweaks or whatever will be made to it as well. Or maybe at some point they'll just say, like, if you want a ticket, you can pay like 25 pence or whatever. Like, because we're always talking about like it's supposed to be free to play or whatever, but we always talk about like microtransactions. And although it is free to play, like at the end of the day, the goal is get people buying a few limited cards and stuff as well. You've got a whole thing about upgrading your lineup, and they've done all the marketing around that really good. It's really well. Like, get to the end of the game, it says this guy's a player of the game, and you can buy his limited for 10 quid, and like I love how all that works. So that should hopefully make them some money from some instant buys or whatever. And obviously the Android and the iOS, the whole market's going to be available as well. So it could be like you can buy them for this, or click this button and you can access the market if you want to buy like an older card or whatever. That would be pretty good if like it just links into the actual overall market. So so pretty interesting. I know what you're saying, Quinny, but it's what the risk would be that people who are not doing that well, low down and limited, just say, well, actually, I'd rather just play rivals for fun because I've got like 100 quid of limited cards and I'm winning absolutely hee-haw at the moment. Like, you know, that might be a wee bit of a risk, but as I said, like, I think you can see like it's going to have to evolve over time. It's only really early stages, so
yeah, no, that's fair. It's a good point you make. I didn't really give that kind of side of it much of consideration because yeah, I just think about, you know, not to sound it. There's only no way of saying it doesn't sound nice, but just thinking about myself in a sense, like, you know, if I'm just imagining this game and how most people would engage with it, but yeah. I don't really, I say if you do have a little limited gallery, I think it would, you know, for me personally, and I can only speak if I was in that position, I suppose, as well, but like, yeah, it'd make me feel maybe a bit more comfortable with my £100 limited gallery. Like, oh, cool, I can get 2 bites of the cherry every week if you're, you know, if they're Celtic players and you're watching Celtic anyway, or, you know, whatever the team is. So, but yeah, it maybe then stops you kind of going more and going, oh, well, I'll make the challenger team better, because that's not really the objective anymore. It's just make sure you pick the best 5 and maybe pop a limited once in a while.
What I really like about it is, like, you know, obviously, like, one of the guys in our WhatsApp group, he doesn't really play as much anymore. He's buying more limited, and like, if a Liverpool game's on, he'll message me and he'll always send me like a challenge request for Liverpool or whatever. So, like, you know, it's kind of that element of things where you can bring somebody together and they can challenge you. And all right, like, you know, people will say, well, you've got like 5 rares you're going to roll out or whatever, but that's a challenge for him to beat that. If he's got a couple of Liverpool limited or whatever, he can still beat me as well, you know, if he makes the right choices. And so that element, I think, for the social point of view is brilliant, because like, if you can challenge anybody you want, really, you know, you just type in their name, send them a challenge, and it's up to them if they want to accept it for the friendly point of view. So I can totally see why it would become really big. And if you got stuff like, you know, like private leagues or whatever, where you could like organise, say, over a weekend or whatever, you and your pals, you could create a private league and select a couple of matches and you could play against each other or whatever, then it could be a bit like EPL, where you find people wagering a tenner ahead against each other, and, you know, maybe like if there's 10 ahead on the line, somebody would just like go and buy a limited or whatever to try and beat the other guy. I don't know, like, whatever, but I think it's kind of evolving quite quickly, which is good. So
good evening, Rico Man. And Nick Cattle.
Do we think there's going to be a carrot at the top of, like, you know, the sort of ELO leaderboards, if that makes sense? Do you think they're going to bring that in?
I think Sean's theory has some legs to it, that, like, you know, at some point, it's the same as we've seen with every aspect of Sorare. At some point, you need to make sure you're rewarding different people, or
the most frequent, frequent winning users, or, you know, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah, because like progression is the buzzword around all these kind of topics and conversations, you know, and it is that. Well, what's outside of the win streaks, you know, like, what is the benefit to being selective with what matches you pick, and, you know, what is the mountain you're trying to climb,
isn't it? Like,
why get a couple of cards?
Why buy limited? Sean's already asked, like, contemplating buying fucking Gazaniga limited just for a fucking game of rivals, and there's nothing on the line, if that makes sense, as far as, you know, it's just ego at this point. So it's like, you know, what could actually be up there to where, because right now, like we've discussed, there's not no reason, but there's not much reason to go buy limiteds to play rivals. You know, if you want to play it strategically, realistically, as we've seen, there's people at the top have no cards. There's clearly a strategy there, right? So, like, you know, Sorare, they're in the business of selling cards. So, you know, what is going to change as far as how this all works rivals wise, to where that just flicks overnight and we go, you know, they announce something and it's like, right, every fucker is just wanting to buy limited cards.
Yeah. Do you think that may be like the kind of the initial part of the ELO where it's a brand new game? Like, because, like, if you have, like, say, everybody's on 100 and I put in 2 rares, then it's going to try and pair me up with somebody to make it kind of fair. And then, like, at the moment, obviously, people are not in natural positions. Like, you know, I've had a really good run today, but before that I was like 8,000th or whatever, which, you know, is probably like kind of wrong. But then what will happen is like guys like Nanzo and guys like Sean or whatever, they'll go on good runs, and then these guys who are up top have got like 500, will start running into them. So they'll have games where they'll pick like brilliant lineups and they just can't win because Nanzo's playing a unique or whatever, you know. So so and then the other part of it is like, who do you really want guys who are entering the unique division and everything to be top of rivals? Like, you know, like
it's tough, isn't it?
Is that what you do? Is that what you desire? Like, I don't know.
Unless they split the leaderboards and just go common leaderboard, ELO, you know, pro leaderboard, ELO, and do it that way.
The thought I had was like, and I think that's kind of relevant if you were to play against your mates, right? So say I introduce somebody and I say, right, come and play me Celtic. They're going, how the fuck are you going to beat you? Like, you've got like Matt Riley unique and everything, right? But it'd be quite good if you could play some form of game where you could just choose not to use your pro cards. So like, actually, okay, I've got Matt Riley unique. I could just say, I'm going to play you in a head-to-head and I'm just going to pick for the commons so that it's just a completely level playing field.
Yeah.
So maybe not for the ranking, but like for the friendly side of things, you just say, right, me, Quinny and Hendor having a game this weekend, and the criteria is you can't pick any pro cards, and then it's just like everybody's got the same starting sort of.
Maybe just turn bonuses off. Maybe that's just when you're doing your invitation. When you send an invite, just bonus on or off is maybe just a wee flick tab when you send the invite.
Yeah.
And then you can still have the unique there, but it doesn't matter. It's just looks cool.
You just use, so it wouldn't score anymore. But I get why for the ranking, because obviously it wouldn't make any sense for there not to be some advantage in having limited and stuff for the ranking. Otherwise, nobody would buy any, and really Sorare are trying to tempt people into the game as well. So I can see why they've done it. But I just mean like there'll be a point where like the guys at the top's going to be like Sean and Nanzo, and you know. Like, and if I play all the time, maybe me, but I don't know if I'll actually like play enough or take it seriously enough to get there, if you know what I mean. But like you seen with the kind of beat the previous test, the closed test, it was like, you know, like David, like SR Monkey and stuff, you know, and he's got a lot of cards, you know, so it kind of makes sense that he would be near the top because he's really good, you know, not just because he's got a lot of cards, he's good at the cap stuff, like the 220 and everything. He's really good at that stuff. Plus, he's got a good gallery as well, you know. So, so there we go. I don't know. It's a tough one. I just don't think if they launch these really nice leaderboard stuff and then it's just whacked with the top 3 being guys who own like super rares and stuff, whether that's going to be the right message. I don't know. It's hard. Or maybe they could bring in something in terms of a pro ranking, which means that if you've got a really good pro ranking, that you don't qualify for any rewards in rivals, but you do qualify for the pro version, and they can kind of do it that way. I don't know. That'd be good. Because we're kind of missing that, right? Where we don't have like, there's no ranking of users in pro at the moment. So it had in rivals before pro. So maybe that could be a way to go in future.
Yeah, I like it.
Any chance Juventus could get their finger out? I think I actually need them for my cooking.
Old school Web 1 McBride.
Web 1 McBride.
I know. I don't really bet much these days, to be honest, just because like I always take Cheltenham week off, so I always kind of start thinking about it or whatever.
Yes. I love a bit of Cheltenham.
Yeah, so I've got a treble in. It's Barcelona to win, Girona, and both teams to score, and Juventus to win. So basically like 10-1. So Barca are in, and Girona look pretty certain to be in as well. But I need Juve, so we'll probably beat the Lecce now. No men.
Juve are getting more possession. I don't know if you're watching Juve, McBride, but they've got more possession. They're going for it.
I'm watching this screen. The TV's behind me, and that's just be bothered. Just chat to you too.
Pleasure as ours. But yeah, Juve are starting to chap at the door. It's half time in our 2 games at the moment. I think Girona will be home and hosting this one as well. One thing I only noticed, but like about 10 minutes ago for Sevilla, is the wee Super Rare I picked up, nice and cheap, has started this one. Wee JJ is back in the house for Kike Sanchez Flores. Wee JJ is back, so buzzing about that. And our wee Super news, which is good fun.
What do you guys think of the January window and stuff in general? I was kind of fearing it a bit with like all the Saudi stuff, but it's kind of went complete opposite where you get like
shifted, haven't it?
And people not been happy and everything. It's kind of interesting.
It's been quiet as a Jan, I think.
Yeah. Said like the financial fair play stuff and everything as well, where the budget isn't reset to the summer, and I see like find it weird, like Newcastle saying, "Oh, I can't really sign anybody just now." It's like, do I just do what Chelsea's done, just like pay for them over 8 years or whatever? You have loads of money, like you surely find a way to actually, like, if you need to buy somebody, like I don't know, like I totally see why that stuff's in, but it just seems a completely weird scenario where Newcastle finally have got an owner who's willing to put money in, and they just can't sign anybody in January. Like I don't know, it's interesting.
I think it's been absolutely horrible for Newcastle. Like, I don't know if Trippier will leave. The last report was like Newcastle won't sell him now, but everything's been all agreed in principle. So if like Bayern will spend the money that Newcastle are after, then Trippier will move in like a heartbeat. This is the way I've kind of read it. But it's absolutely screwed a lot of teams. I think the whole Everton thing has just put everyone on notice, and everyone is just terrified. And it's like, do we really need to sign this guy? Because it might get us into bother, you know. In that sense, I think it's been dead, you know. But there's been some interesting moves. And I think it'll be a deadline window. This one will be right at the end. You know, everyone will count all their pennies and see who they actually need, and then it'll be the last day or two. It'll be musical chairs.
I think the real weird thing about it is, yes, Juventus, get in there. Sorry, I think it is weird for that point of view as well. Like, but like there might be like some clubs there with guys on like quite good wages who just want to like get rid of them because then they know they'll be able to balance books. But what I don't get about this is that like there's a lot of teams there who are struggling who don't like gamble on things like getting into Europe. So say you're like Arsenal or whatever, you're going to be budgeting for some sort of European football and all the millions that comes with that. But how can Nottingham Forest and Everton get themselves into financial problem? Because surely they're going to know like to a fair degree what they're going to actually earn from the EPL money and the budgeting. So how can you miscalculate that? Like surely somebody's getting sacked there. Like you know, it's like it's your job. Like you know, you've got a budget and you can't overspend it. It's like I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But there we go.
Vlahovic, by the way, Weston McKennie, 27 with the assist. Weston McKennie got an interception, travelled 15 yards through the centre of the pitch, played a sublime ball to somebody who got into the box and made a hash of it. The ball then broke to 27 and he flicked it to the edge of the box and Vlahovic put it away. But McKennie almost just got a big highlight reel moment there and it got taken away from him. But fair play to him.
Cash outs at 63 quid.
He's flying.
Yeah, I'll just get
it. It's fucking toilet paper for you, is it no?
I went mental. I put £8 in the treble. I don't like honestly. I'm a mug punter. There's no two ways about it. Like, if I'm putting a bet on or whatever, I don't like going in too heavy or whatever because like I'm as bad at that as I was at the first 11 games of Rivals. Let's put it that way. But I mean that's the thing with Sorare as well. You just don't you dare cash it. No, I won't, Ian. That's fine. This thing with Sorare, like, you kind of get a really good handle on the kind of general like variance and everything of football as well, where you think like today I'm like, you know, Real Madrid are going to hammer Almeria are dodgy at the back, blah blah blah, and it's like looked it's 2-0 Almeria. You're like, what
chance you got of you?
It's like because I was my other bet and I had Real Madrid -1. I was so confident they were going to win. They did win, but I still didn't win anything because I took -1. It's like 1-0 down after 60 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever. So yeah. But it's a mugs game and it's a bit of fun. So like, but the fun bit with Rivals is maybe people come in and they'll just treat that as kind of a fun money thing. Like it's like, all right, like I can buy these two guys for £3 each and prove my chances in this game or whatever, because a lot of limited are really properly affordable at the moment. That's one of the kind of only advantages of the lower prices. Don't think it's a good thing overall, but they can mint 1,000 limited, and people buy a couple of instant buys for £3 or £4 or whatever, then they've got scope to keep minting them at the moment. And still £3 or £4 going into the coffers for Sorare. So
yeah, they add up, don't they? The bits of pocket money.
Aye. That was it's nothing to do with this. We're talking about rivals and stuff, but that was my thought the other day. My brainstorm was about how undervalued rares are, because if you look at limited, they don't really hit more than 400 at the moment, maybe 450 of most limited. So things start going pretty well. They can turn the taps on a wee bit more with limited and just say we're just going to sell some more, or the instant buys are going to go through, but they don't really have that scope with rares. A lot of rares are being almost maxed out between the sales and the rewards. So, and there's no more big leagues to bring on either. The EPL's here and everything now. So it's not like they're going to say, oh, well, I suppose they could get the whole of the French league.
Or the Saudi league, mate. You talk about no big leagues left. You've not been listening to Ronaldo.
Yes, that's not
Saudi Premier is better than League One. Should be going for the Saudi league now.
Much as he getting paid to say that as well.
I know. Well, it's probably a gun to his head somewhere, and they're backstage.
Oh, Harry.
I was saying that Neymar gets paid 500,000 for doing promotional tweets about Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Literally pay him for being positive about Saudi Arabia. So yeah. But I mean, I was just rares, and the problem with sort of rares and super rares just now is you've got some existing users who maybe in profit or whatever, and just think, well, they want to take that profit at some stage. But the pro needs to be as good as rivals in terms of progression and all that sort of stuff, so that when people are playing limited and they're doing well at limited, or have got a couple of £100,000 worth of limited or whatever, as they can then get into the pro and they can play in the pro. But there's some sort of path there where people who are quite good at it can actually work their way through without having to actually dump in their life savings type thing. They'll expect cards to be expensive because they're scarce and all that sort of stuff, but they'll know that if they do go and spend £200 in a rare, they're not gonna be worth £100 in 3 months' time because of the scarcity and stuff. So I think it's interesting. Everybody's really desiring the rare side of things or the pro side of things to get better, but I think it will, to be honest. So I'm not wrong.
Rico Man's dropping some proper Sorare knowledge here. His only bet is both teams to score in Sporting Lisbon games.
Sporting games.
That's proper Sorare knowledge, that, isn't it?
Not a bad bet, that is it? Jesus.
You do it for Atletico Madrid nowadays as well.
You could have done that with Celtic for a good portion of this season with big butterfingers in goals, Quinny. There we go. Do you know what's going to happen? Celtic will give him a new contract. That's what will happen.
Don't say that. Don't say it.
Quinny was a captain today. We've not even made any moves to sign a goalkeeper. All the noise is, we'll sort out that situation in the summer. You can bet your bottom dollar that if we win the league and everything and he's competent to the end of the season, do you think Celtic are going to go and spend 7 or 8 million in a goalkeeper when they can give him a new contract? Seriously?
Need to, mate. Champions League.
I know we need to, but I know we need to, but will we actually do it? The question is, what will we do? Will we sit there and go, no, we can go and spend 6 or 7 million in somebody like Alavakovic or whatever, or just give Joe Hart another year and just not have to pay a fee and just still pay him his £15,000 a week? I think that's what we'll end up doing. But anyway, he's quite cheap at the moment, Joe Hart, because I don't think he's going to retire. Touch wood.
I was so close to buying another rare, the day.
I bought one.
I could just get another rare now and just have another keeper. It's fucking cheap as chips now.
£160 the other day. That's mad cheap. Because I was just sitting, thinking Ross County game. I was sitting.
I think he goes to America, just for the record, by the way. Just as we're talking.
That's what I was thinking. He's still easily got another year or two in him at another level that's not Celtic if he wants to keep playing and stuff like that as well, So it's kind of the type of guy who's see rocking up at Inter Miami or whatever. you know, just somewhere like that. I don't know.
Go smooth Messi's back for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously David Beckham's the joy owner there. He's ex-England #1. He's still playing at a good level. Like, you know, he's got his kind of goalkeeping deficiencies or whatever, but I don't think he's really changed much from when he was actually playing for England, because he kind of had some of those things like the long free kicks and not moving his feet and all that. That's all been going on for years and years and years, you know. He's got a lot of experience. I say he was the captain today. Like, they left McGregor out and Rodgers made him the captain. So I just thought that was kind of interesting, you know. So
yeah, I didn't realise he was captain today. That does tell you something, I suppose. But really, who's in the outfield that could have been the captain? Maybe Kyogo.
Yeah, I suppose Scales has kind of just come back into the fold.
O'Reilly? Did O'Reilly play?
O'Reilly played, yeah. You could have made it O'Reilly. But I suppose they've got to look at stuff like the actual influence in the dressing room and all that sort of stuff. Garbage, Ian, I actually seen a Celtic link with Garbage, and I bought his rare, and now he's with Sheffield United. But that could work out like amazingly, because I'm pretty sure they'll still go down, right? So could be a championship goalkeeper. So that would be pretty awesome as well. Sheffield United done really well in championship last season, so if they do go down, I think they're still kind of tooled up to do pretty well down there, to be honest. Like, so
Lecce have gotten our clearance off the line, potentially getting credited to them here.
I prefer the second goal, Quinny. 2-0 to Juve.
Yeah, they've got a corner. Swing it in.
Yes. Zekutman. Woohoo! 86 quid towards the Cheltenham absolute mug punting shenanigans. Well, if Girona don't bugger it up, but
Wesley McKennie at the back post plays that across the face of goal, and Vlahovic. It was a long diag. I don't know who played it, but a long diag from deep. Wesley McKennie. There's a wee bit of suspicion of offside, but you know McKennie's not that buzzing. Not everyone's kind of celebrating, but no one's going mental. Don't know if it's because it's Juve Lecce. I'm getting bar vibes about it, but it might just be that it's Lecce. But number 11, it is long diag, goes all the way at the back post, and I say McKennie he's shooting, but he knocks it down and towards the face, across the face of goal, and then Vlahovic just steals it. Goal poaching bastard.
Double decisive that is for myself.
The guy I'm playing against is Captain McKennie.
Ooh.
So I'm nervous. I need to go check it now.
Quinny, did I ever tell you?
I'm losing by 3 points. Did I
ever tell you a story about my worst betting experience? Did I ever tell you that one? No.
Maybe, but go for it. Sure.
Somebody put up, I was like accumulator tip, so it was like an 8-fold, and I put a tenner on it, right? And it was like 881, but I put it on my site and they had a boost, so I got 100 to 1. So like, whatever, right? So I've looked on later on, there's 2 games left. So I needed a German team, and I needed Sheffield United to beat Aston Villa at home. So I get the beers out and everything. German team winning 5-0, and Sheffield United's winning 3-0 on the 81st minute. So I'm like, yeah, beauty, £1,000 in. I'm on the beers. I go and look. There's like, you know, is there a cash out? That says you can't get a cash out because you've taken the bet boost. I was like, it doesn't matter. I was getting another beer anyway. It's 3-0 up. Aston Villa score. Doesn't matter. Still, it's 3-1. Doesn't matter. Aston Villa scored 2 goals in the last 4 minutes of injury time, drew 3 each. So I get absolutely nothing. So I couldn't even cash out because I'd taken the actual like bet boost. So usually it'd be like the cash out would be like 90, 97%. Whatever, you're like 3-0 up and 5-0 up, you know, like basically games are won, and Villa scored 3 goals in the last 9 minutes. And that was back at the point where, you know, we had 11 minutes injury time around. They scored 2 goals in 3 minutes in injury time. I was absolutely sick. I never had a bet on football for about 4 months after it. I was like, there we go. So mug punting is not much fun sometimes as well. £1,000. Sick.
Aye, I never have. I don't really have any of those stories from when I used to bet all the time because I never did mad accumulators. I was just more, see, like rivals. That's just what I'm doing for rivals is what I would do with betting, sort of like just no games and go, oh, that's going to have goals in the first half, or you know, if I'm watching a game, like, oh, they're going to score any minute now, I'll put a goal in the next 15, you know, time intervals and stuff like that. So I don't really, you know, I from all my gambling escapades when I was younger, like I don't have any mads like, oh, I get screwed over, you know, I had a last minute goal or a red card or the penalty went the wrong way and all that kind of stuff. So it was always just mad wee runs I would go on, like I say, these wee win streaks. It would just be like, put a tenner in, like how far can the tenner get, you know, and like get a few runs on the go and go, that's 150 quid, I'll take that out now, or if I've lost it, look, well, it's only a tenner, you know.
Poker. It's once I started getting into poker, and like this was like over 20 years ago or whatever, right? Show my age now, but like back at the point where you could play against the Americans, and the Americans were all like uber shite. So it's like if you could actually learn the basics, like you had a really good chance actually like winning and like the tournaments and stuff like that. So I remember just kind of discovering that and just going in, like paying like $10 and like this is amazing, and then like sort of 6th or 7th time in or whatever, like actually won a tournament, won like 400 or 500 quid, and I was like that was me proper hooked on it at that point. Is like wow. Couldn't believe it, you know. So I had
a mate did something similar like that. It might have, I don't know if the Americans might come into the equation, but I get told what he would do is he'd do like Friday, Saturday nights. He would play poker for money from like 10 o'clock till like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And his aim was, I get told anyway, that maybe the American didn't come into it, but he was trying to catch drunk people playing. Like people that would just be like on the piss and come home from a night out and go, fuck it, I'll play a bit of poker and just, you know, taking the disposos, you know. There was
obviously Poker Stars, and Poker Stars was available in all of America. So they changed online gambling rules now, but there's people who would go on from Europe and play American time zones so that they could play against predominantly American players. Now, I was never like a big kind of cash game guy. I wasn't like going on with like 300 quid and playing cash games. So I love playing tournaments, and like at that point, the general standard in tournaments was absolutely horrendous. I mean, really horrendous. But it was good fun as well, because it's like £1,000 for first place or whatever, but you've only paid 10 quid to enter. It's kind of better proposition than getting in and whacking down 200 quid on the table or whatever, you know, and kind of limit like losing like serious amounts and stuff like that. But it's kind of coming a wee bit more back now, poker. But the problem with poker is there's a lot of countries where don't let you kind of play against people in our countries and all that sort of stuff. So like it would be a humongous game if they just said, right, you can play anybody from anywhere. And that's one of the biggest like advantages of Sorare, I think, where you've got people for all these different countries able to in some way play in competitions against each other. Like they've managed to like transition or so far Touchwood allow you to play against people in America and people in South Korea and people in, like, you know, have managed all that. So it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. It's not, I didn't really get into poker or anything. Luke Jones is saying he'd be a lot more competitive at Sorare if he didn't gamble. And I think you've kind of told yourself maybe something there. It's probably a good idea. You have just made a double sub. So there's been a few players taken off. Kenan Yildiz and Philip Kostic have came off. I've just noticed that Timo Weah's now on the pitch. So there must have been a substitution earlier on that I missed because he didn't start the game. So who's been subbed off? Moretti as well earlier on for Timo Weah. Illing Jr. is now on the pitch also.
4-1 to Girona.
Oh, yeah, beauty. Let's go. So I was going to say as well, Yangel Herrera hit the post from a corner there with a direct header. Girona are in possession as I'm watching it now. I'll let you know what's going on once we get closer to attack. But nice kind of build-up play. Couto's been tidy today. I've not seen much of my boy Martin. I think I don't know if he's been quiet or not, but I've just not seen him.
But cashed out now.
Oh, have you?
I only got it's a quid less, right? I know it's still giving money.
Savio's broke the offside trap and he takes first time touch into the middle of the box, and number 8, Sagarikov, I'm sure that's going to be, has tapped it in. Yes, it is. 4-1. Savio assist, running riot.
Ooh, how good is
Savinho? He's a real deal, man.
I won him, by the way. Lovely little card to win.
Girona are winning the league, lads.
Savio.
I see Matt Riley was linked there as well, which like just doesn't really make sense because I don't think Girona are really going to have that model where they're going to pay the big fee or whatever. But I seen that. I actually broke live on Sky. I was just sitting randomly, you know, where you're watching a transfer show and you're watching the same stuff you watch for an hour and a half, the same stuff, and instead of like Matt O'Reilly to Girona, I was like, fuck off.
Yeah, it's a weird one, that, isn't it? Very strange.
But if they qualify for the Champions League, they instantly can spend FFP-wise as much money as they want, and they are CFG affiliated, so it's not as if they've got a cash flow problem where they need to get paid before they can spend it. You know, so I think like if they do sign in O'Reilly, it will be like it'll be a tipping point for them because all their players are on loan and stuff, like Savio, Couto, Miguel Gutierrez. All these guys are on loan from other teams. They don't really own a lot of the main guys. So if they make that flip, I wouldn't be surprised if it was somebody like O'Reilly because they could buy him for 35, 40 from us and sell him for double that to the Prem because of his homegrown thing that we were chatting about, you know, that we know is there. He has that even with them still as a selling value potential. So does he help them win the league as well?
Savio and Couto, are they not at Girona because Man City or the City Group wanted to buy them, but when they bought them, they had to put them in countries where they would qualify for things like work permits and wherever they thought best? Because like when Couto signed, like basically it was kind of almost like Man City were buying him all, like realistically, like I don't know, because like
I think Couto is actually owned by City and Savio's actually owned by Troyes or Troy or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that may have been an FFP adjustment, like get Troyes to sign them because we've spent our money. But yeah, as soon as they've been bought, they've been pumped out on loan for experience and stuff like that.
They bought Koke Saito from Japan and he was at Lommel, and then you've loaned him from Lommel to Sparta Rotterdam. So it's not like big team buying a player and loaning to a lower team. It's actually owned by Lommel, who are a second division Belgium team, and loaned to Sparta Rotterdam, who are like mid-table in the Eredivisie. So I think a lot of the times they're just kind of doing it for like work permits and all the experience and everything, but it's all in the same group. It just kind of seems ultra dodgy or whatever, doesn't it? But like at the end of the day, like City are going to all these lengths to develop talent and get money into the group, and their kind of youth setup and everything at City is pretty sustainable. They'll get like 25, 30 million or whatever for Cole Palmer. So
do you know what I was thinking about the other day? Imagine City got one of those transfer bans that Chelsea got like a few years ago, and they had to keep the type like the Livermentos and the Cole Palmers, and you know, because they've bled a few people out over the last couple of years. Maybe Frimpong if you want to go that far back, but even like over like like Romeo Lavia, you know, they've had like some mad talent guys. Sancho, again, could go that far. They've had some level of talent. Imagine they didn't have quite as much money and they had to keep them all that entire time. They'd still have, like you say, a legit team, you know, because Foden's the best, obviously, but there's been other ones that are now that like Cole Palmer, obviously, they're now.
So bringing in guys like Oscar Bob and like Rico Lewis looks really good. Harwood, they still own Harwood Bellis as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you imagine like, we can't sign any centre backs here, we'll just bring in Harwood Bellis, like.
And they had the guy as well that's at Fulham, Aberbayo or whatever. He was rated. He was rated way above THB. He was rated at City as being like next company when he was kind of coming through. Like they rated him mad high at first.
Tommy Doyle and stuff as well,
Tommy Doyle.
Yeah, there's tons of them, man. That are like proper Premier League level. They might not be treble winners and runaway champions every year, but they would still be right up there with some of these guys. Like I seen Livramento like play for Newcastle at left back against Man United, and honestly, see that guy, he is amazing.
Livramento came from Chelsea, by the way, not City.
No, Livramento was a City guy.
Yeah. No, he's not.
No,
Chelsea. Yeah.
Livramento guy. Livramento is amazing, but okay.
He went to
I'm gonna investigate.
Southampton, didn't he, Livramento, and then he went
to Chelsea sold him because Reece James.
No, but I thought that was Southampton went and got like 3 or 4 City kids. They went and got Livramento, Lavia, Edozie, and maybe somebody else. There was that City thing. They raided City and got a few guys. That's what I thought.
Well, let's look this up.
Livramento, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Livramento.
I think it may have been Chelsea as well.
It may have been. I'm happy. I'm probably wrong. Yeah, it's Chelsea. Yeah, but it must be the right. Like Lavia, Edozie, and there's somebody else in.
Chelsea under 21s.
Maybe checks Southampton's business, but they definitely. I've got that wrong with Livramento, but Edozie, Lavia, and somebody else. But they went and got 3 City guys in the one window.
Yeah, it was Southampton, wasn't it? Bazunu was owned by City.
Bazunu, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think it was him, but it could have been him easily.
Southampton bought him, didn't they? Paid like 15 million or something for Bazunu.
Yeah.
Paul Bernardoni has joined Switzerland. Oh, okay. Glad he's
Charles Sullivan.
Yeah.
Jack Patterson. Boom. Love it. Bazunu, it could be Bazunu as well, but yeah, Shea Charles could be that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody I didn't know.
Muric was a
Muric was a City boy, yeah. Or is,
yeah.
Yeah, they've had some good players, but there was a time, wasn't there, when no one.
Enes Unal.
Ennis.
Big Enes Unal.
What a player.
Who owned Trafford?
City. Oh no, he's Burnley owned now.
Yeah, but who owned? Was it City as well? Trafford?
It was City.
Yeah.
That's like their sort of talent ID for that age group and everything is just fucking unbelievable, isn't it? Like, I mean, that's because Trafford, I mean, it could be arguable, but bringing Muric in and some of the stuff with Trafford recently, a wee bit weak coming out for the balls, and maybe it was a foul or not, but and he is going to be a good player and all that sort of stuff. But like, you know, you bring these guys through and then they're getting like 15-20 million for them, and they've not even played a game in the EPL and stuff like that. It's just
English
like,
tax.
yeah, but Trafford is really good.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, he is good, but you know,
I think he looks like a wee guy for a keeper. He looks like a wee guy of a keeper. Do you know?
Quite skinny. Yeah, he's tall, but he is quite slight.
Yeah,
which probably doesn't go. Yeah,
I've not seen much of him, but you know, I remember watching him.
Do you look at like at his age, like, you know, because this annoys me about Celtic when we were talking about earlier, like Pandor, right? Pandor doing pretty well in Holland. Croatian under 21 goalkeeper. So like, if you want to sign a good young goalkeeper, like you don't even need to go any further than just looking back at the under 21 sort of Euros or whatever and seeing who played for those teams: Ukraine, Trubin, Pandor for Croatia. Big Scheiko. Oh, he's a Scheiko.
He's a Scheiko.
Big chance missed and everything. But yeah, like Pandor's all right, but he's went for 1.7 million. I tell you,
weird, isn't it?
That is the best 1.7 million that they will spend because he's good.
Croatia under 21, number one.
Exactly. For the most part. I mean, like it's doesn't seem to be rocket science, does it? Like,
yeah, it's a weird
one. Club Brugge bought Burzik, and I know he got injured and all that sort of stuff, but Burzik played for England youth teams at every single level. I think he won like the under 20 World Cup or something, and like it's not that hard to find them, if you know what I mean. And obviously when Parker went to Bruges, they signed him, and then he's never done anything because he got a bad injury and everything. But you know, the players are there. Like, it wasn't that expensive. It was only like 2.5 million or something like that, you know. So like Celtic like should be able to do stuff like that. Like, it's not that hard to actually find good players if you just look in the right places. Like, but there we go. Maybe we're just.
It's been a great January window, and like, see if Pandor kicks on Sorare-wise, like for Hull, a championship keeper like him. I know he's aging out, or he's maybe, you know, whatever, but he could be tidy. Hull, I don't think are in much danger of getting promoted. You know what I mean? So they're probably a championship club for a year or two before someone scouts him and pulls him up. Or, you know.
Yeah, he's aging out. Actually, yeah. Balls. But then that kind of helps because even though he ages out, if he gets that number one place, then everybody will be looking at championship utility. So he's still worth a lot for goalkeeper wise. I forgot he's aging out. The under 23 goalkeeper situation is going to be pretty interesting next year, actually.
All about the Trubins. All about the Trubins and the Van de Veerts. Is Van de Veert aging out, actually? He's out, isn't he?
No. He's comfortably.
No, Van de Veert's not.
Yeah.
But it's Bazanu, not aging out, as in like alive. Yeah, Bazanu, Van de Voort.
3-0 Juve.
Chevalier.
Ruben. Chevalier's got a couple of more, loads of years, yeah.
Yahya Fofana.
Nice goal. Lovely. Left-footed free kick whipped in. And then big number 3 for Juve. I think that's Bremer with the goal. Who's the guy that's whipped that ball in?
Big Bremer.
Yeah. 3-0 Juve.
Quinny, what do you think of Tellio as well? Mike Baston's asking, do you think Tellio's going to go somewhere in the window? I think it's kind of complicated for these guys that are at the Asian Cup type thing because you're trying to do deals and stuff, but he's away with Australia, right? So the problem with trying to get a deal done is like they're right sort of balls deep, for want of a better word, in the actual Asian Cup. So, like, you know, it's getting a deal done. But Tillio needs games, doesn't he? Like, really, I would like to see him going loan to somebody else in Scotland, just like Quan's done or whatever.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. The whole Asia Cup thing, he's not going to be, you know, unless he's like pre-agreed terms with Celtic, like as long as I get paid this and I don't need to travel too much, or it's this or it's that, whatever his terms are, you know, and maybe they just do it on his behalf and just find him Motherwell or St Mirren or whoever it's going to be to take him. Yeah, but I find that unlikely because he is away at the Asia Cup. I don't think that will happen.
Yeah,
it's probably this summer.
Yeah, it might be one that happens like towards the end of the window as well. You don't know how long these sort of teams are going to stay in the Asian Cup as well. You'd imagine Australia will do pretty well, but it doesn't always work out like that, right? It could be like out the groups or whatever. I don't know. I've really been following that much because AFCON's on Sorare. I've been paying more attention to AFCON, to be honest. So
yeah, fair enough.
Cavallina's the boy. I mean, like, I'd love to see Celtic sign Cavallina. I think there's a lot of talk of him going back to Dynamo Zagreb because they sold him to Lokomotiva, and I think they've got like a buyback or something on him, like quite a cheap buyback. And obviously they've had a problem with their goalkeeping situation, whether that Zagreb guy and Nevestic come in and he's been in and out and all that sort of stuff. So they're talking about just actually bringing Cavallina back. But that would, you know, I'd love to see Celtic go and sign somebody like him because he's a big unit and like just obviously looks like a good goalkeeper, you know. Yeah, a buyback clause of 500k for Cavallina. Dynamo could easily just buy Cavallina for 500,000. You think if Celtic come in and said there's 3 million, they'll just take a 2.5 million profit, no? Like, it's like they sell players all the time, like, so. But yeah, we'll probably give Joe Hart a new contract. That's the summary of that. Joe Hart will be 75 and he'll still be there. He's good in the dressing room, you know. He's conceded 3 goals today, but he's good in the dressing room.
I really hope not. I think they've got a hard on for Kelleher, to be honest with you. And I know the fees reported that Liverpool want for him are nowhere near Celtic's budget, but I don't know. I've just got a mad feeling that that's their objective is get him somehow, even if it's a 2-season loan or something stupid like they did with Fraser Foster before. You know, like
the only reason we're linked with him is because he's Irish.
He's Irish and plays for Liverpool,
and because Brendan Rodgers used to manage Liverpool, there's no way in a million years that Celtic are signing Kelleher. Honestly, see if we do sign him, that would be amazing. But the Liverpool were quoting teams 20-25 million last season for him. There's no way that Celtic are going to sign somebody like that. No chance. Why would Liverpool let him go out? Because Liverpool need a number 2, right? So if they need a number 2, they're going to have to go and buy a good goalkeeper to sit on the bench. So why would they actually let him go on loan? Like, I just don't see it. Klopp wouldn't even let him go on loan to the Championship or whatever to get games because he wanted them to be there as a capable number 2 in case something happened to Alisson. So I just don't see it. I hope I'm wrong because I think actually it's pretty good. He's had a kind of rough spell, but he's not played many games or anything. He was Irish number 1 for a spell, and now he's fallen out because he's not getting games and stuff. But I just can't see that happening at all. Really can't. It's not in our price bracket, Quinn, is he? He'll come with Premiership wages as well. You know, it'll not just be his transfer fee, it'll be like you're going to have to pay this guy 40-50 grand a week or whatever as well because it's going to be a big signing. So I just don't see it, but there we go.
I think the Livakovic equivalent in the market and it depends on what happens with their season because they could well get promoted into the Bundesliga as a St. Pauli keeper, Vasilj, because he's like he ticks all the boxes. He's chapping on the door of being that Bosnian number 1. I know every time he's played for Bosnia, I think he's been shocking, to be honest with you. So I don't know how much of a job he'll be doing at that, but in terms of like profile, experience, minutes played, and then like all the passing out from the back stuff he can do, and he's a good shot stopper. Like I've not seen much of him, but like I've seen enough of him, and I think he's like and again, if St. Pauli get promoted, there's no chance you're getting him. But if they fail in promotion, which isn't beyond them, they've done it a few times, St. Pauli, blown it at the end, then he's I think he's got to be one to be looked at.
I still think that Celtic will sign a young goalkeeper. Like I know there's this whole strategy of buying young guys.
He's like 27 or something, mate. He's never been good 22.
That's I mean, like we're talking about like obviously Panda or even Kelleher is a bit younger. Like I think that like really goalkeeping position. Even look at Salzburg, right? Salzburg, like, are chock full of guys who are 18 and 19 or whatever, and they go and they bring in Schlager. Like, the goalkeeping position doesn't, like, you know, you need somebody who's got a bit of nous there. And with Celtic, like, it's a funny one because you're always going to be under pressure. You've got to win every game. And sometimes you're just going to be standing watching for like 40, 50 minutes as well. And like, people don't really experience that at other clubs as well. They're always quite active and all that sort of stuff. Whereas like, you're going to have to sit and watch the game for a while and just be really concentrated, which is kind of experience level thing. So like, I don't know, Quinny, like, there's just part of me now, it's just veering more towards like Celtic will just extend Hart. I really like, if we're actually, Nick Hodge would be a great purchase. I've got his super rare. It's a great point. If we're going to go and sign an experienced goalkeeper, then why would we go and spend a few million when we just give a Hart a 1-year extension? Like, I don't know. I just don't. I can see it coming. It'll be like one of those, like, where we appointed Lennon in the showers after the cup final type thing. It's like patting the back. Oh yeah, you won the league again. Yeah, you got there's the extension. Do you want to sign it just now? And that will save us money, and everybody will just carry on just moaning about the same things next season. So there we go. Nick College would be a great sign. I'd love us to sign him. Yeah, there's a guy who's available for a few million, get experience, playing really well. I don't know why he's not really got a move to one of the bigger clubs in Holland. I don't know. I suppose Ajax go for younger goalkeepers and all that sort of stuff as well. But
spent a lot of money on Rulli, didn't they, as well? And
when the guy went to Ajax, that was the Sparta Rotterdam manager, I thought, like, they would probably go for Olic, but I think maybe he wanted to be like playing somewhere as well. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely capable of stepping up. No offense to Sparta Rotterdam. I mean, Sparta Rotterdam are kind of threatening European places and everything in Holland, so a pretty good team. But I think he's capable of playing at a higher level in that club-wise. But there we go. Definitely take him at Celtic.
Savio's been subbed off. He's finished on an 80.4, 2 assists today.
That's lovely.
One contest free. Joe Gabarito for Savinho. One contest, one for Couto as well. If you did go for a bit of Samba, the Brazilians love a contest one. Saganikov as well. Ooh, a bit of Joe Gabarito action happening in this game.
So I'm going to be completely honest here, right? And I shouldn't admit it, but I actually don't know the difference between a contest and a duel. So I don't know. I'm just not looking at it.
Contest is more of a run. You know, it's more of a run for the ball.
Like how you, like if you like glide past somebody, if that makes sense, and they've sort of like tried to sort of do you, and you sort of, you know, whether like this
more of like a kind of 50-50 or a one-on-one, where a contest is
you actually get both. Like you can't get a contest one without a dual one,
right?
As far as I'm aware. So like they come as a package, I believe.
You're better just like actually going for the duels one.
That's Sean's, that's PSU's sort of thing. In that sense, because you have all your defenders getting involved and whatever. So I think that's the sort of situation between those two, but I could be wrong.
Another thing I was wrong about the rivals as well. I didn't realise that. I thought that if you went for shots on goal, it was team shots on goal, but it's not shots on goal from the players you have actually selected.
Of course.
So
you thought it was team,
whatever, that's just entirely stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. I was like, what a fucking idiot. But anyway, it's just kind of like,
no.
Quinn Dog.
I lost the Juve game.
I scored over 400 points in the Juve game, I will have you know.
Weston McKennie. Grr.
Big Weston, baby.
This guy's team sucked ass, man. I picked Falcone. That's my downfall, really. Losing a bit of rep on the streets, guys. I'm losing a bit of rep on the streets.
What's your rep? 64, Quinny.
Oh, no. I'm losing some rep.
What's yours, Harry?
I've honestly, mate, I've not really played Rivals too much, but I'm on a bit of a streak. I'm on nearly just over 200, maybe. 2 something. 215.
215.
So I played 3 Friday night, won all 3, won my little box. That was my streak of 3, if that makes sense. And now I'm trying to get my streak of 5. I'm currently winning all my matchups. If I win the other the next 3 right now. So I just won the Juve one. Then I should get
got
5
your
out
screen
of
now,
5.
Harry.
Yeah. So if we have, how do we do it? Matches? No. How do we do it? My lineups. So I've got this little Girona piece here, which should come in. South Africa looks quite nailed, and then it's just this Lecce game. So like the guy's got his whole gegenpress maxed. I've not, and I'm still beating him. So like, if it stays how it is, obviously it's fine. But I've obviously got a bit of catching up to do on the gegenpress duels 1 situation. So
and it's duels won by your players as well, isn't it? So so it's quite.
So having like 2 defenders probably is quite optimal if they're good at duels 1 or
or like Joey Veerman in midfield, or like
just everyone trying to just nail him. They can't.
The thing with the tactics is it's trying to judge how the game's going to go, isn't it? For the guys you've picked, is he like thinking about Savio in the contest one? Is he going to do the right back? Has he got his number? Is he going to be? Or how what for all the different tactics? Are Barca going to dominate possession so much where they get 500 passes? Okay, well, tiki taka is going to be easy peasy, or it's not. It's going to be a bit more like this game, or whatever.
100%.
Try to judge the match a bit better, and that's the hard bit. Those points are so valuable.
It's quite good. I think actually overall it is pretty good, because I thought at first it was like you both picked the same tactic, but I didn't realize it was like individualizing it to each player that you had picked and everything. So because obviously a lot of the lineups themselves are pretty samey, especially like if you get a team where they do like 240 average or whatever, and you just like Feyenoord, for example, at the moment, or Murder, like you can't get it's like you're struggling to actually get a Feyenoord team under the cap because they've got so many guys who average 60. So you end up having to pick a guy for the other team just because you can't get 5 guys in. So all that stuff's kind of interesting how they roll it out.
If you click on lobby, Harry, and then rivals from there, you'll get the cool wee animation. Click on lobby.
Yeah.
Oh no, is it showing you already?
Oh, I've already had my Juve one. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I thought we were looking for. Sorry, my mistake.
No, I was just having a look at
Rico, man.
Love that, Rico. I deployed the shots on target one for that Juve one. Obviously, having Vlahovic helps, but I had as my extra player. Obviously, I had another striker, so it was like 6 shots on goal is mental, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, you only need 5 for the plus 40. So,
I say that's a lot harder to get than like the passing one and the duels one. Like
it is, but it all depends on who like what Quinny said, isn't it? It's who the striker's playing against. Who if you're going 2 strikers, the probability of having that sort of shot on goal filled out is probably a bit higher. I'd like to think, just because they're just higher up the field, right? It's kind of an obvious one, but if they can't hit a barn door, then it don't matter. Does it?
No, that's it. I didn't really think about the whole BCM part of it. You just know then, shots on target it's one of those stats. I remember when it first got introduced to betting, and you kind of see it still even promoted quite a lot. Like, Gabriel Jesus to get 2 shots on target, and they're expecting people to think, that's going to be a doddle. Of course he's going to get 2 shots on target. But when you actually watch football like that, kind of statistically way, like shots on target aren't as often as you actually think they are.
Yeah, I remember the one they done. It was like William Hills or whatever. It was like put a tenner on Salah shot on target, and it's like boosted from 1 to 10 to like even money or whatever. And it's like it lost like 2 games in a row or something. It's like, never had a shot on target like most Salah, but it does. It happens more often than you think. So
I'm falling into a Riker stack right now with winning that rare Labrovic is. Even though I'm trying to sell him, I've bought 2 extra guys on auction just so if I want to sort of lean into it for this midweek, I could go and get the Riker boys out because I have the super rare as well of Labrovic. I'm trying to sell him, to be honest.
Is he not still 23s next season as well, Labrovic?
Nah, not next year. Just up until 24, like July 24.
There's quite a lot of guys aging out. Who's it?
There is a lot. Costa's aging out.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Is he?
Yeah.
Costa.
2024.
I was going to say there, Harry, see when you said the Riker boys, I just got the Wenger boys tune in my ear at the exact same time.
Yeah, so Trubin's huge next season. Then Quinenti,
Mega.
Humongous, because he's actually like he puts in pretty good AA as well, even when Benfica are not keeping clean sheets. So he's just going to be absolutely massive.
He's only going to get better. Like Trubin
Yeah.
at this point, like he doesn't get better. He doesn't get worse. Surely he only gets better. He's the real deal. We've seen him play McBride. But, you know, Harry, you probably have as well. Like he is a proper keeper, man. He doesn't look. He doesn't look like a kid. Doesn't look like a young guy. When we seen him like 2 years ago or whatever. Never mind now.
I can't believe that Mudryk went for 80 million and Trubin went for 12 million.
Mate, goalkeepers just get shafted half the time, don't they? Really?
But how could you watch Shakhtar and not want to buy Trubin? Like, you look at the keeper. Oh, he's 19. What? This is his like third year in the Champions League. What? You know,
it's weird, isn't it? I don't know what some of these clubs think sometimes.
Oh
It's
no,
like they're just
I know.
oblivious to it.
Let's go buy Gaga Slanina. Let's go buy him. That's what we'll do.
He's got a lovely name. He's got a great name.
You know,
mental, mate.
I think it is.
I suppose the thing is, like, Shakhtar Donetsk are kind of underrated Champions League team as well, because like even after they sold like Mudryk and stuff like that, you think, oh, you know, they're going to be rubbish, and then they're just like rolling out guys like Sudakov and like, and they're still really good. You know, it's like they've got guys that are just producing or picking up players from their own country, or obviously they bought like 3 Brazilian under 20 guys for like 20 million combined or whatever, so they've got like 4 times as much for Mudryk for like those 3 Brazilian guys, and like they'll probably sell one of those guys for 40 million, and like it's mental. Like it's mental what they do. I wish like I don't think it's possible in the UK. Like work permits and everything are kind of an issue as well, right? You can't just like go and buy an 18-year-old Brazilian guy or whatever. I don't think it's actually. I think that's why Man City have got the setup where they can move somebody to Girona or whatever, because I don't think they can really sign them in the UK as well. So interesting.
Aye, it's very clever for like they don't need to put FFP pressure on themselves for some of these people, you know, ultimately, you know, and like I've followed it really closely because I've also been a Mad City fan, and you guys and everyone that's on this stream will know obviously I've been mad for like just all this kind of level of football. And like every step they make, it's just like, yeah, that's exactly what I would do if I was a mad crazy billionaire. I'd make a team in New York as well, and then I'd go to Australia and I'd buy a team there, and then I would go to Spain. You know, you would do all this stuff if you're a mad billionaire and you loved football, and you'd make sure they all go mad.
We would be buying teams, but like realistically, you'd be in the
when you get to that point, mate, see the money these people have. When you get to that point, you're past the nappies, mate. You're past the dancing. You know, at this point. Especially when you're big Roman Abramovich. Like these guys are just mad for it. That's what I would do. If I was a mad crazy billionaire, I'd be buying all sorts of teams and making sure they were getting all the best talent in world football and playing them all around and all that, and go and get Pep Guardiola as your manager and all that stuff.
Who's the team in Scotland? Is it Hibs? Is Hibs get a tie-in with somebody now? Is it not the guy who owns Bournemouth has got some sort of stake in Hibs? Because I'm sure, because there was some sort of talk of like Bournemouth buying like Oscar Zambrano and loaning him to Hibs, and I was like,
yeah, I saw that.
That's mad. Because that for me actually, it might sound like a negative, but actually for the Scottish game and stuff could be actually a huge positive, because one of the problems in Scotland is that Celtic and Rangers just run away with it every year. So actually having like, you know, as Bournemouth, having like Hibs or Hearts or whatever coming through would be good. Remember, like way back, Quinny, when you had like Hibs had like Derek Riordan, Scott Brown, they had Gary O'Connor to Russia and all that sort of stuff. But that season, like they were totally like a couple of points behind Celtic and Rangers at one point.
Whittaker as well, who played in the Prem.
Who's that?
Stephen Whittaker and all played in the Whittaker. Played in the Prem.
Stephen Fletcher was at Hibs as well, wasn't he? When he was younger, I think Stephen Fletcher too.
All the Scottish teams over are the last kind of generation, you know, not all of them, but a lot of the good ones have had like little crops of like a team that's came through, haven't they? And they've managed to, well, a lot of them have managed to sell them on for a few quid. Didn't really win much with most of them, but yeah, I think like Scottish football is one of the ones that you can see putting like money into it and then getting like basically ROI. Like I think Scottish football's got such a high ceiling, and it's so see comparatively to like Spanish football, Belgium second divisions like USG used to be, and like Lamel, where you mentioned earlier. Like Scottish teams must be mad cheap in comparison, and like if you can get a Scottish team decent, like there's lots of fucking football players around about Scotland. See if you can just get good facilities and a good set of coaching, and you know, like you can do it anywhere in the world. You see them doing it in Venezuela, South America, you know, all these mad crazy places. You know, I don't know why I said Venezuela specifically, but like, you know, like you can do it anywhere with the right investment, and yeah, I think the better.
I suppose like Edinburgh's a bit more rugby wise as well, Quinn, isn't it? Like Hearts and Hibs are like in the capital city, so like you imagine like somebody like invested in Hearts, but like you get 5 million for getting in the group stage of the Europa and everything, and you know like you start buying some good young players at Hearts or whatever for say £1 million or whatever, you automatically you've got Celtic Rangers who might want to buy them for 3 or 4 million. You've got like you've got the Championship and EPL like in the same island. Like look at the young Scottish players. Like, well, why did Celtic not buy guys like Lewis Ferguson? You know, Lewis Ferguson was obviously playing really well for Aberdeen. He was always played well against Celtic Rangers. He was scoring goals from midfield, and like Celtic Rangers allow him to go away over Italy in the next minute. Juve want to buy him. Well, that's not a surprise, because he was doing great. Like he's just 5-1 Girona. Woofed.
Yes. Watching it now. Top scorers in the league, man. Can't get enough. It's down the left now with I forgot all the substitutes. I'm not too sure who's on. Maybe Vanlery. That's it back for wee Miguel Gutierrez inside for. We're gonna get it here. I think this is Pablo Torre. Chips it into the box. First time brought down across the box, and then Stuani's there to tap it in. I think that's Miguel Gutierrez with the assist. Yeah, lovely. Stuani off the bench with a goal. Super sub, loving his life.
Always gets a goal, doesn't he? For his troubles.
He's very good, Stuani, by the way. I picked him up for next to fuck all. And like his L15's always 35 or something. And like he is 35 or 60. Plays 30 minutes of every game. You know?
I'd love to see Girona in the Champions League.
It's happening, it's happening. Believe it, it's happening.
I just don't want to see them like collapse or whatever, if you know what I mean, because you've still got like Barcelona and Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid behind them. So if they stutter, then there's teams there that can just win 5-6 games in a row and stuff. But it would be amazing. The Champions League next season, Leverkusen, Girona, like that's going to be amazing.
See, on what we were talking about earlier in terms of Savio and going to Man City or whatever, the last I'd kind of seen like Ferran Soriano and Cheeky Bergenstein and whoever else, the guy that's probably went to Man United, he was probably there. They'd seen Girona against Real Madrid, and then after that game, they said, we're going to keep Savio here for like next year because we think Girona are going to make Champions League. We want him to play Champions League with Girona. And I think there was the same kind of sentiment around Couto as well. So I'd be surprised if anything detracts from that a little bit, because like they are doing great in that, but they're definitely nowhere near the finished article, either one of them, you know. So I don't know, I'm interested in Couto, but again, I'd say the same in that move. I don't think he's great in that, but I've not seen enough to say like, oh, he'd definitely play for Real Madrid and be an impact, you know.
Yeah, City wants to come back and actually like kind of go straight into the team type thing as well, don't they? So obviously Doku's done like amazing and stuff like that, but Doku's played in Belgium, then he's went to France and he's done it there, and then he's moved back. So if he could keep like Savio and everything there and get them Champions League exposure at Girona, then they can decide to move him back then. And then they'll like pay like 40 million for him, and then they'll use that. It's just moving money about the group, aren't they? Like they'll just use that to buy somebody else and all that sort of shit. But
aye. And a bit of a sticky wicket as well, actually. And see, with all this FFP chat that's been going around, I've maybe just connected a few wee dots in my head, but I read something a few months ago that said, like, if Girona do qualify for the Champions League, then CFG have to reduce their stake in Girona, or Man City can't be in the Champions League. And then the rule is, because of the two ownerships and blah, 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 it would have to be Girona that would get the Champions League spot, not Man City. They wouldn't get to decide that. Yeah. And then when you hear all the FFP chat now, it's like, oh, they've got 115 charges. They'll get relegated. I'm now kind of thinking, what if they know they're going to get relegated? And that's why Girona. Girona in the Champions League anyway, so they're fine for a year.
It's like Pep's like, right, I'm away home. I'm away to manage Girona.
Pep's brother's the president of Girona. Do you know that? Claude or something. I think his name is. I don't know if it's Claude, but it's something pure cheesy like that. You know. Like,
do you imagine Pep saying, "Oh yeah, I'll stay very loyal on it," and like Man City go down to the Championship, and he's like, "I'm away for some sun, away to
mate, I would love to see Pep in the Championship. Pep in the Championship would be hardcore. That'd be hardcore football.
I mean, that's basically Enzo right now at Leicester. Like, it was his understudy, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah.
But with City.
Okay, with City, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that's going to, like, it's all right him saying, well, I'll hang about and stuff, but you think, like, Haaland's going to hang about to play in the Championship? You know, like some of these guys are going to say, well, nah,
exactly.
like, I'd rather just move to somebody and play in the Champions League or whatever, you know? So, like, it's probably an interesting question. Does Haaland have a relegation release clause? It's like, it's a top,
if so, is his money halving?
That would be bonkers.
I think there would be an exodus, you know, and I think everybody would be cool with it, to be honest with you. I think City would be fine to just probably go, right, cool. When I think it'd be hardcore. Pep in the Championship with any squad, you know, whoever did remain and whoever they did maybe even bring in off the back of being in the Championship.
I just feel like we'll just keep Arwood Bellis in the Championship. He's been there for 3 years, and he's played in every team that's actually been promoted. So we'll just whack him into the defence and it'd be interesting.
Then you maybe loan Doku to Girona or something.
To warm the bench when Savio's just running around everywhere.
I remember it was the guy who was the Leon guy, so like they had a problem and stuff with fair play, and like they own that RWD Mullenbeek or whatever, so they paid like 30 million for Noama or whatever, and then just loaned them to Leon. It's like they just bought him there and loaned them to Leon. You're going like, but we've not broken any rules, but it's just bonkers, right? It's like we want him, so I just buy him there and loan him. Like, you know, Guy Walker is his class, and it's like I remember
he's a perfect example of like you just need to play for a good team and score well, because he was under everyone's nose playing for Coventry. You know, he was like playoff finals and stuff like that.
I watched him in all those playoff games, and he looked
sniffing.
He looked really good. I thought this guy's good. He's kind of guy I was like, oh, he would be like unbelievable at Celtic type guy, but I knew he was already been linked with moves that were like, 15 million and everything, and Sporting got him. But like, it's just no surprise he's totally like ripped him up, because he scored consistently in the Championship, and people think that that's actually quite a competitive league as well. Championship, with a lot of well organised, good teams and everything. It's always a really close league, so it's not an easy league to score goals in or whatever. Obviously, maybe slightly easier than the EPL, but it's still a pretty tough league. So he's the type of guy who's just went straight into like a sort of top 5 club or whatever as a striker. I think, like, rather than going away to Sporting or whatever, like, it's really chill.
4-0 win. This guy's on 28 points. Everyone else is raining green except a little fucking shithole here.
That's so funny.
On that note, I'm going to head off, Quinny, because it's 10 o'clock.
Have a good one, McBride. Pleasure, buddy.
I'm going to avoid these 80-mile-an-hour winds and everything tonight. So.
Oh yeah, that'll be me after this, trying to get home. So yeah, wish me luck on that, mate. Thanks for popping in. It's been a pleasure.
Aye. Pleasure, guys. Good luck with the rivals.
Catch you later, bud.
See you later, everybody.
5-1, it's finished for Girona ultimately. Yeah.
I've gone 4 for 4.
Well done, mate.
I've gone 5 for 5 today. 3 for 3 Friday. I didn't play at all yesterday, to be fair. So I can confidently say I am completely unbeaten on rivals this weekend. Feels good.
Well done, mate. GG's to you.
And I've got a rivals box to claim. So if we want to put it on the screen, if I win a card, it's given away to somebody in the chat. Like
the stakes are raised. I wish I had something to do that.
All I want you to do is give a like to the stream on Quinny's channel, please, if you haven't already, of course. And yeah, we'll get into the old rivals rewards box. Come on, then, give us a card. Come on,
card.
No. Oh, wait, there's 5 though. Okay,
5.
I think. Yeah, it's better than 3.
There you go.
I really wanted a card though to give away. I can't lie. They gave me one last time, though I didn't think I'd get one this time, to be honest. But yeah.
Thanks, Rico, man. I think I've seen that.
That replenishes my tickets. Wow, you
Yeah.
won Paulista. Fair play. That's cool. That's a good card. Ah, look at that, Quinny. Have you seen this? Daily.
Coming soon.
Ooh.
Easter
I said that
eggs.
wasn't there.
Easter eggs. We found Easter eggs, guys. We have found them. It's a Sunday night, by the way. That would just be getting prepped. That's a Monday morning. You know that's happening
Sunday
tomorrow.
night Easter egg. Yeah.
It's a Sunday night Easter egg. We found it.
That's wild, yeah.
Harry Trades. Nose of a bloodhound. Love that.
Yeah.
Luke Jones just picked up 5 tickets. GG's to you, Monfrere.
Love that. Love that. I've just got
But
to
yeah,
level 50
I
as well.
unfortunately have been pipped twice in rivals today. I'm not undefeated. Unfortunately, I can't say the same.
How did you lose the Girona one, by the way?
This is the Getafe game I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I lost by 7 points.
Oh, that's unlucky.
3-2 loss. It's brutal with 2 super rares as well. I won in the Barca game, which was cool, but that Getafe game broke a streak because I'd just I'd gotten what I thought was an easy win or two just before that to get going ahead of this. Oh, there we go. I need to do all these tabs. Sorry. What game was I had before? Celta Vigo, because I watched that game. Celta Vigo, Real Sociedad, and yeah, Trubin and Benfica.
Yeah, I can't hear you right now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?